Naruto God Level System, Chapter 681 to 700. Chapter 681 Go to School to be a Teacher. Is this the Kaolu area? So I was picked up in this area. Yachinliu looked around. The 79th area, also known as the Kaolu area, is very chaotic here, and various souls kill each other in order to compete for food. It's really chaotic here. Doesn't Shiritsu care about it? Chen touched Chang's head, and then said, even if you want to, you can't manage it. Liuhun Street is so big, and the people from the 13th team of the goading court really can't manage it. Mess. Is it more messy? Then let's go to the 80 district to see. Are you okay, Dad? Since you want to go, let's take you there. I haven't seen the more chaotic 80 district. Leaving the 79th district and coming to the 80th district. Compared with this place, the 79th district is a little insignificant. There are no rules in the 80th district. Only the strong can survive. Suddenly I lost interest. Seeing the constant fighting on the street, Bachinliu lowered his head and said, no, that guy is here. The souls who were fighting were suddenly scattered. Did you run away? It's really boring. The figure of Zaragi Kenpachi slowly appeared, looking at Chen and the others who hadn't left. Is it you? I think of you. After seeing Chen, Zaraki Sword 8 recognized Chen. At the beginning, they fought each other, but the result was a disastrous defeat, leaving a scar. I actually met this guy again. Chen looked at Kenpachi Zakagi who rushed over with his knife drawn. I don't like to communicate with people who draw their swords as soon as they come up. Chen Shuan swiftly kicked out. Kicked Zaraki Kenpachi on the head, causing him to faint. To deal with such a person, stunned is the best way. Are you still interested in continuing to visit? Chen asked while looking at Bachinliu. Bachinliu shook her head, seeing the fight here, she had lost interest, and after strolling around Liuhun Street, she felt that Seo Lingting was good. When they returned to the 4th division, Ujawali had already cooked and was waiting for Chen and the others to return. I heard that you went to Liuhun Street. How did you think you would go to that kind of place? Uno Hana Lai asked curiously. Having said that, Lai and I met in Liuhun Street, right? Chen thought that when he first came to the Soul world, he was bumped into by Ujawali. You didn't go to Liuhun Street to recall the past, did you? Yi Yi asked. No, it was Bachinliu who was clamoring to go to Liuhun Street, so I went with Bachinliu. Then why are you calling me? It's abominable, Yi Yi said dissatisfied. You are the captain of the 2nd division. I'm not afraid that you have something to do. So I didn't call you. Excuse me, what can I do? It's clearly because you forgot to call me, or you didn't even think about calling me, huh? Yi Yi crossed his arms and snorted softly. Yi Yi, if you don't eat again, the food may be eaten up. Ujawali reminded Yi Yi. By the way, there is news from the 1st team that you should go to the True Central Spiritual Art Institute as a teacher and be responsible for teaching ghosts. Ujawali said. Is old man Yamamoto unhappy because I'm too leisurely? Chen put down his chopsticks. It's not just you, but also Yi Yi. Yi Yi is going to the academy to teach Shunpo. Ujawali looked at Yi Yi. What? It's mine too, why didn't I know? Yi Yi jumped up and went to the academy to teach students, she wasn't interested. Old man Yamamoto must see that we are too idle and want to find something for us to do. It's really hateful, Yi Yi said angrily. If old man Yamamoto was here, maybe Yi Yi couldn't help but punch him. It's quite boring to be in the 4th team. It's not bad to go to the academy to hang out. It would be even better if there were beautiful girls. Chen said with a smile. Originally I didn't plan to go, but now it's impossible not to go. Yi Yi said suddenly. To go to the academy to hook up with the little girl, how could Yi Yi allow it? You have to go with him. Teach the students. I'm going with me too. Yachinliu raised his hand and said. What are you doing? Making trouble. Go and play with Nailu. Chen patted Bachinliu's head. What kind of trouble? In my father's eyes, am I only going to make trouble? Bachinliu pouted in dissatisfaction. I also want to go with Chen. Chang said, staring at Chen tightly. Okay, I have no problem with you. Chen nodded, it's all a mess anyway, it doesn't matter. The next day Chen and Yi brought Chang and Bachenliu to take up the post as teachers. Alas, Chen sighed dejectedly, with disappointment on his face. What's wrong? Weren't you very happy when you came? How come you have a disappointed face now? Isn't that right? Yi asked suspiciously. I don't think I saw a beautiful female student, so I'm not happy. Big pervert, Chang said without giving Chen any face. Yeah, I didn't expect the quality of the female students this year to be a bit poor. Chen said listlessly. Let's walk faster and stay away from this scum. Yi hugged Baqianlu and dragged Chang away quickly. Cut. Chen shook his hair and followed. In the blink of an eye, Chen has also taught in the school for more than 10 years. From the beginning of his enthusiasm, he has completely reduced to salted fish. Sure enough, his essence is salted fish. Mr. Chen, I have a question to ask you. Sorry, it's class time now, I want to rest. Seeing the girl who came to ask for advice, Chen immediately refused. Is that so? That's a pity. Fu. I feel like I've had enough. No, go find old man Yamamoto, this teacher really doesn't want to be a teacher. Chen stood up and said. After leaving the office, Chen went to the first team. Yo. Old man Yamamoto, you are really leisurely, I guess you are the most leisurely. It feels really unpleasant. Chen looked at the leisurely old Yamamoto drinking tea. Captain Chen, I don't know what's up with you coming to the first team. The old man Yamamoto raised his eyelids and glanced at Chen. It's not a big deal, I just don't want to be a teacher, so I came over and told you, enough to give you face. Chen picked up the teapot and poured a cup of tea. The tea of the old man Yamamoto is quite fragrant, and sure enough, the old man Yamamoto is also a person who can enjoy it. It's okay if you don't want to be a teacher, but I'll be transferred to the 11th division to be the captain, just now it's time to clear up the guilt again. The old man Yamamoto said after drinking a sip of tea. Is that so? Forget it. I'm not interested in going to the 11th division to be the captain. Chen refused directly. Chen also knew why the old man Yamamoto insisted that Chen go to the 11th team to be the captain. The old man Yamamoto just wanted to use his strength to suppress Shu and let him contribute to the Soul Society. There are too many things to do in the 11th team, it is better to be a teacher. Chapter 682 Aizen comes to visit. Since you don't agree, forget it. I'll leave first. Chen stood up and said. Wait first. The old man Yamamoto suddenly called out to Zuchen. Captain Chen, I think the 11th division is the most suitable for you. The old man who is lazy is the most annoying. Really, I'm sorry, I'm the slack person you hate the most. Chen said indifferently. I have investigated you, and you seem to have appeared suddenly. There is no record in Liuhun Street. In fact, I am very curious about your origin. The old man Yamamoto raised his head and opened his narrowed eyes. Old man Yamamoto, can you know how many more ghosts will appear in Liuhun Street every day? Chen turned around and asked old man Yamamoto. You're right, but your appearance seems a little abnormal, but it doesn't matter, the old man won't investigate so much. I believe that under the eyes of the old man, no one can come up with any tricks. The words of old man Yamamoto are full of 100% confidence, he is the strongest god of death, always will be. Old man Yamamoto, you are very confident, but if you are too confident, you will become arrogant. Chen is not interested in saying these inexplicable words to old man Yamamoto. As a member of the Corpse Soul World, shouldn't you contribute to the Corpse Soul World? Are you worthy of your own strength now? Chen understood that old man Yamamoto still wanted to make him the captain of the 11th division. Without talking to the old man Yamamoto again, Chen left the team building of the first team. Chen, why are you here? It's so rare. Jingle Chunchui and Yukitaki Shuru came over. Why do you often see the two of you together? Chen glanced at the two of them with strange eyes. Put this look away from me, I'll tell you, I and Fuju are just close friends. Jingle Chunshui said quickly. I know, I didn't say anything, and you don't need to explain it to me deliberately. Chen said with a smile on his face. The smile on your face is really bad, Yukatake, let's go. Jingle Chunshui took Yukatake Shuru and walked inside. I've already held hands and explained that I have nothing to do with you. Everyone in the Gote 13 team knows nothing about you, Akatsuki. Jingle Chunshui hurriedly let go of Shuru Yukatake's hand and looked at Chen with fire in his eyes. Fuju, don't pull me, I'm going to cut this guy down today, don't pull me. Jingle Chunshui roared loudly. Chun Shui, I didn't pull you. Shiro Yukatake said. This time there is a floating bamboo pulling me, I will let you go, next time I will definitely cut you. Jingle Chunshui took back Zanpakuto and walked into the first team's quarters. Tisk tisk tilde. After leaving the first team, Chen did not go to school, but returned to the fourth team. As for teaching, please take a few days off. To actually forget to ask for leave, what a mistake. Chen is going to ask for a year's sick leave first, and then go back to the 4th division to issue a certificate. In the first team building, after Jingle Chunshui and Yukatake Shiruro reported the matter, the old man Yamamoto nodded, and then asked the two of them, how do you feel about Hyuga Chen? Old man Shan, why did you ask this all of a sudden? Jingle Chunshui looked at old man Yamamoto suspiciously. If I ask you, just answer. The old man Yamamoto glanced at Jingle Chunshui lightly. Jingle Chunshui pouted and said, actually, I can't see through him, and I don't even know what he's thinking. I feel that his thinking is different from ours. Besides, that guy is very bad. What do I think? I think Captain Chen is not motivated, but his strength is really strong. I don't think he is weaker than teacher. Shiro Yukatake said. Humph, that kid is far worse than me. The old man Yamamoto snorted coldly. Although I also think he is strong, he will definitely not be as strong as old man Shan. Jingle Chunshui said. Of course, Chen didn't know about the discussion in the first team's quarters, he was in the fourth team's office at this time. Chen, I think your sick leave is too outrageous. Maojawali looked at Chen helplessly, the disease that will die if you don't rest, where is this disease? It is also practical to make up nonsense. Captain, the vice captain of the 5th Division Aizen is here to visit. Chen was stunned for a while. Lan Ran actually came to visit him. It must be the weasel who gave New Year's greetings to the chicken, and he didn't have any good intentions. Hurry up and invite the vice captain of Aizen in, Chen said to the 4th team member. Soon Aizen came to the office, still with the signature gentle smile on her face. Captain Chen, I originally went to the Junyang Spiritual Arts Academy to find you, but I didn't find Captain Chen at the Junyang Spiritual Arts Academy, so I knew you must be in the 4th division. Oh, then I don't know what the Vice Captain Aizen asked me for. Chen asked Aizen. I came to see Captain Chen because I have something to ask you. Could it be that the Vice Captain Aizen is sick? Could it be that he has some kind of terminal illness? If you have a terminal illness, I won't be able to cure you. The corners of Aizen's mouth twitched, and you had a terminal illness. No, I'm in good health. I have other things to ask Captain Chen. Chen looked at Aizen, he didn't know what medicine was sold in Aizengord. What's wrong with the vice captain of Aizen? Although you can tell me, if I can't do it, then don't say it. Chen said to Aizen. This matter is a very simple matter for Captain Chen, that is, I want to discuss with Captain Chen, I don't know if I can. Aizen said. Learn with me, I'm just the captain of the medical team. What do you do with me? If the vice captain Aizen wants to learn, you can go to the 11th team. No, I know the strength of Captain Chen, and I also want to be instructed by Captain Chen. Aizen said immediately. Chen looked at Aizen with an inexplicable smile on his face, and he basically understood the purpose of Aizen. I came here to discuss with myself, and with Aizen's character, I would definitely not do unnecessary things. This time Aizen came here, 9 times out of 10, she wanted to hypnotize herself with Jinghua Shuiyu. Sorry, I'm really not good at fighting. Chen continued to refuse, He wanted to see if Aizen would give up because of this. Captain Chen, you're joking, do you think I'm weak and disdain to learn from me? That's really sad. Lan Ran's face showed a sad look. Since the vice captain of Aizen has said this, then if I refuse again, it will be a bit inhumane. I will agree with a few people like this. Seeing that Chen finally agreed, Lan Ran was overjoyed, and a happy smile appeared on her face. Then please ask Captain Chen for advice. I don't think I am weak, and I hope that Captain Chen can show mercy to me. We are just learning from each other, maybe I still need the advice of Vice Captain Aizen. Chen looked at Aizen inexplicably. Looking at Chen's inexplicable eyes, Lan Ran's brows were slightly wrinkled, and there was a feeling of being seen through. Chapter 683 Chat with Aizen. The training ground, Tatsu and Aizen stood facing each other, and the Zanpakuto in his hand was pulled out. Deputy Captain Aizen, I would like to meet your Shikai, as if you have never shown your Shikai before. Chen said with a smile. Oh, Captain Chen wants to see my Shikai. Of course I'd love to. Aizen said with a smile. Aizen came here to hypnotize Tatsuya, and naturally he would show his Shikai, but not now, it was too suspicious to use Shikai from the beginning. Captain Chen, I'm going to shoot first. Aizen disappeared instantly and slashed at Chen's back. This Shunpo's performance is quite satisfactory, even worse than the ordinary captain. Aizen is deliberately suppressing his strength. Deputy Captain Aizen, you have to be careful, I usually don't show mercy when I'm discussing. Chen Jie said after blocking Aizen's slash. Looking at Chen's eyes, Aizen felt the danger of ultimate, and quickly stepped back, looking at Chen cautiously. The momentum completely locked Aizen, and the powerful spiritual pressure made Aizen frown. He thought that his spiritual pressure was strong enough, but Hecken thought no, it was more than a little worse. Be careful, I'm about to attack. Chen's figure disappeared from Aizen's line of sight, instantly appeared in the sky above Aizen, and slashed towards Aizen. Aizen was horrified by this sudden speed, and quickly set up his sword to block Chen's slash, and his speed was extremely dignified. As expected of Captain Chen, his strength is really strong. Lan Ran's Hang Yu he said with a face. Captain Aizen is not ordinary to be able to block my sword. Chen looked at Aizen lightly, and clearly saw Aizen's trembling right arm. Just Chen used a lot of strength, and Aizen's arm was definitely hurt a lot. Light speed kick. Aizen instinctively raised her left arm to block in front of her, and then her body fell to the ground as if hit by a meteorite, smashing a big hole on the ground. Vice Captain Aizen, if you can't hold on, don't hold on. We happen to be the fourth team here. If you are injured, we will send you for treatment. Let's just end this discussion. Chen said lightly to Aizen. No, I feel like I can hold on, Captain Chen, I haven't used Shikai yet. Aizen stood up and said. Aizen did suffer a lot of injuries just now, but he must not give up. The purpose of his coming here is to hypnotize Chen. Now that the goal has not been achieved, how could Aizen give up? Well, since Vice Captain Aizen insists so much, let's continue. But I don't think Vice Captain Aizen is really strong, so I'll close my eyes and fight you. Chen's mouth had a smile on his face. And Aizen's expression froze. He wanted to let Chen see his Shikai, otherwise he would not be able to complete the hypnosis at all. During the first hypnosis, it is necessary to show the other party Shikai of Zanpakuto, so that it can be completed, and it will not be needed in the future. Now that Chen closed his eyes, what did Aizen use to hypnotize him? Captain Chen, you don't have to do this. If you do, then don't you look down on me. Aizen immediately refused. Yes, Aizen, I just looked down on you. Chen said lightly. Aizen's expression froze, it was so direct that he couldn't get off the stage. Chen put away his Zanpakuto, and then took out a knife that was very similar to Aizen's Zanpakuto, with a similarity of more than 90%. Break it. Mirror flower water moon. What? Aizen's eyes widened, and then she felt dazed, but she wasn't completely hypnotized by Kyoka Suigetsu. Isn't it hypnotized? It seems that Jinghua Shuiyu is ineffective against you. Chen said lightly. How could you have a mirror? Lan Ran asked in horror. He was really horrified. The same Zanpakuto is not owned by only one person. Chen opened his eyes and looked at Aizen lightly. Seeing Tatsu open his eyes, Aizen immediately used Shikai, break it. Kyoka Suzuki. It's useless, Aizen, your Zanpakuto can't hypnotize me, but I can't completely hypnotize you using Kyoka Shueyu. It's a surprise, Chen said looking at Kyoka Shueyu in his hand. Aizen can't even hypnotize Yohabak, let alone him. If you want to hypnotize him, Aizen has no ability at all. In this case, it seems that the only way to get rid of you is the obstacle. Aizen's face was indifferent and murderous. Remove me as an obstacle. You are really so confident. Chen looked at Aizen with disdain. Aizen didn't speak. As the saying goes, it is better to act directly than to speak ruthlessly. Aizen is an activist. The turbid coat of arms is faintly revealed, the unruly and arrogant talent, the tide, the negation, the paralysis, the momentary, hinders the long sleep. The crawling iron princess, the clay doll that constantly self-mutilates, combines, rebounds, and extends to the ground. No Akatsuki's own powerlessness. Destruction 90 Black Coffin. After the chant Ghost, and it was released by Aizen, the power is unimaginable. In the original Aizen, a ghost who gave up the chant could kill the captain in seconds, not to mention the ghost who chanted now. Being locked inside by the dark coffin, countless swords slashed towards Chen inside, but before they touched Chen, they all shattered. The black coffin was suddenly torn apart, and Lan Ran only saw a bright sword light, and then a huge wound was torn open on his body. After a few steps back, he fell to the ground. Aizen, you are still too weak. Chen looked at Aizen who fell to the ground and said lightly. Chen, what's going on? The movement is so big. Mao Zhawali hurried over. When Aizen used the Dao 90 black coffin just now, the spiritual pressure used was not small. Such a big movement, I am afraid the entire Sarange felt it, let alone Uno Hanaritsu who was in the 4th division. It's nothing, the momentum of the battle is a bit loud. Chen Dan said with a smile. Aizen, think about how to explain it to others. Don't provoke me if it's all right, or I'll kill you next time. Chen turned around and pulled Ujawali away, leaving Aizen lying on the ground alone on the training ground. Aizen, who fell to the ground, was lost in thought. What does Hyuga Chen mean? 5.7 Forget it, think about it later. Think about it now, how to fool those people. Iran stood up strong and looked at the captains who rushed over. Deputy Captain Aizen, what's the matter with you? Why did you suffer such a serious injury? Hiriko Mako asked with a frown. It's okay, it's just a minor injury. Lan Ran said with a strong smile, but looking at the big hole on his body, everyone knew that it wasn't a minor injury. I'm just discussing the wound with Captain Chen, it's nothing major. Vice Captain Aizen was injured so badly, Captain Chen must have gone too far. Many people were filled with righteous indignation. This also shows that Aizen is very popular in the soul world. Some people wanted to get justice for Aizen, but they were all sent away by Aizen, and Aizen didn't pursue it. What can they say? Chapter 684 Freshman Enrollment. Matsumoto Ranchu. The other captains left, and only the 5th Division Captain Hiriko Mako stayed. Captain Chen, Lan Ran is also the vice captain of our squad. If you beat him like that, why don't you explain it? What do you want to explain? Do you want to learn from me and avenge Aizen? Chen raised his eyebrows and looked at Hiriko Mako. Let's learn from each other, I know my own strength very well. Hiriko Mako immediately shook his head. I just want to know, why did the vice captain of Aizen come to you to discuss? Hiriko Mako asked curiously. As long as it was related to Aizen, Hiriko Mako couldn't help but be concerned, because he could feel that Aizen was dangerous. Don't think about exploring so much. Curiosity can kill the cat. I'm still busy with official business. If there is nothing else, I'll leave. Without getting the information she wanted, Hiriko Mako left disappointed. After everyone left, Mao Zhawali asked Chen. Chen, what happened before? Aizen's Zanpakudo, named Kyoka 22 Shuiyu, has the ability to completely hypnotize and dominate the five senses. He wants to hypnotize me. Chen smiled dismissively. Aizen was really over his head, thinking that Jinghua Shuiyu could hypnotize him. Dominates the five senses. Is it that powerful? Ujawali frowned. This ability is really too strong. He wants to hypnotize you, and it looks like Aizen also has a plan. Don't worry about him. If it weren't for him, I would have killed him before. Chen said with a chuckle. If it hadn't been for Aizen to make collapsing jade, Chen might have really killed this troublesome Aizen. In the Junyang Spiritual Arts Academy, Chen stood there very bored. Today was a freshman enrollment, so the vice principal invited him, saying that it was the principal's intention. The principal of Junyang Spiritual Arts Academy is Yamamoto Motoyanagi, and Chen also gave old Yamamoto a face, and came here to watch the entrance ceremony of the new students. I don't understand why there is an entrance ceremony for freshmen. I remember that at that time, there was no ceremony. Yi stood beside Chen, also looking bored. Dad, there are high-quality girls this year. Look at that over there. Bachenliu took Locken's hand. Chen Wenyan looked at it, and the first impression was that she was a big girl. She was a girl with a broad mind, and it was estimated that Kiryu Hazun could compare. I always feel that the girl is a little familiar. Chang looked over, feeling a little familiar. Yakuya Kuchiki, the genius of the Kuchiki family. Yi pointed at the guy with a very serious expression among the students who entered the school. It seems that this year's freshmen are very powerful. Chen said playfully. The broad-minded blonde girl from before should be Matsumoto Ranju. And standing next to her should be Ichimaru Silver. They will not be easy in the future, the captain and vice-captain of Gote 13. Soon the boring entrance ceremony was over, and Chen took Yei and the others away. Ranju, what are you looking at? Ichimaru Silver asked, looking at Matsumoto Ranju, who was stunned. Ah, nothing. Matsumoto Ranju shook his head. Ichimaru Silver followed Matsumoto Ranju's line of sight suspiciously, but there was nothing. What? Actually, let me teach the elite class. Why? Chen looked at the old man Yamamoto who came in person. This matter is settled like this. Don't give me face. The old man Yamamoto waved his hand and turned to leave. You made this decision on your own, don't you ask me for my opinion. Forget it, it doesn't matter if you teach anyone. Chen sat at the desk, drinking tea leisurely. Chen, you were transferred to teach the elite class, right? Yi pushed open the office door and walked in. Yes, but how did you know? The news is so well informed that old man Yamamoto just left. Because me too, I was transferred to the elite class to teach them Shunpo's course, and I also taught whiteplay. Yi sat on the desk. It's not like you don't have a chair. What do you do at your desk? Do you look different? Yes, it feels so different. Chong, stay in the office first. Or go back to the 4th division, I'm going to class. Chen said, holding the book on the table in his hand. I'll go with you. Chong looked at Chen and said. If you're not afraid of being bored, come with me. By the way, where did Bachenliu go? Chen asked towards Chong. Chong shook his head and said he didn't know. I went out to play, I saw her before. Yi said. Oh, Chen nodded, then brought Chong to the classroom. Looking at the quiet classroom, Chen nodded with satisfaction. Yes, you guys are quite good, I'm very satisfied. Chen had a smile on his face. I am the teacher in charge of teaching you ghost ways. Don't ask me about things other than ghost ways. The students below are somewhat restrained. They all know that the teacher above is the captain of the 13th division, which is why they are so quiet. Looking at the quiet students, Chen Yi didn't say anything and started his lecture. After a class was finished, there was no one to ask any questions. Chen was also very happy. This was the easiest way. Okay, this class is over. If you don't understand anything, you can come and ask me. Of course, if I want to talk about it, it depends on my mood. The class is over. That teacher, I have something to do. Matsumoto Ranju stood up and said restrainedly. Come with me. Chen nodded and walked out. Matsumoto Ranju followed. Chong looked at Matsumoto Ranju. His cheeks bulged, especially when he looked at Matsumoto Ranju 043's mind, and then at his own airport. His face showed resentment. When he came to the office, Yi, who was lying on the desk, raised his head and saw Matsumoto Ranju who was following Chen. His eyes widened immediately. Chen Yu, do you want to have a teacher-student relationship? Yi Zhang charged towards Chen with a kiba dancing claw. Ranki Matsumoto, who was following behind, was taken aback by Yoichi's words, and her cheeks turned crimson. No, I just came to thank the teacher. Matsumoto Ranju said quickly. Thank you. Why thank you? Yi asked strangely. Because the teacher once saved me. Matsumoto Ranju said, looking at Chen with endless gratitude in his eyes. Oh, I remembered, you are the little girl who was almost killed by that hypocritical guy. Chong looked at Matsumoto Ranju and remembered it. When did it happen? Why don't I know at all? Yi asked strangely. It was a long time ago, but I didn't expect you to remember. Chen looked down at Matsumoto Ranju. I will definitely not forget the savior. Matsumoto Renku nodded. Don't worry about it, it's just a matter of saving you, not to mention you can't die without me. Chenpai said with a wave of his hand. Teacher Chen, I will definitely repay you. Matsumoto Ranju said firmly. Chapter 685 Real Combat Training. Tisk tisk tilde. People want to repay you, but I don't know how to repay. Yi said, looking at Matsumoto Ranju who was leaving. Chen, this scumbag, won't make excessive demands on others, right? Chong looked up at Chen and said. Chong, what if I make excessive demands on you? Chen looked down at Chong. Chong's cheeks were flushed with yuhi, and his two small hands tightly grasped the black rabbit doll, and whispered, if you make excessive demands on others, I can only obey. What are you two doing? When I don't exist? Humph. Yi couldn't help but snorted. In the blink of an eye, a few months have passed, and Chen has become very prosperous in the school. There are countless people who have confessed to him, making Yi angrily. No way, the charm is great. Chen looked at the love letter on the table. The current students are really bold and write love letters to the teacher. I'll handle this for you. No need to thank you. Yi held these love letters and set them on fire. I think it's better for you not to be a teacher. In the 10 years you have been a teacher, I have burned countless love letters. That's why you are stupid. Why burn it? You can also sell waste paper for a lot of money. Chong said lightly. Is Mr. Chen here? I have a question I want to ask. Hearing the sound from outside the door, Yi and Chong looked at each other, and it must be the big murderous girl. Chen is no longer here. Yi said angrily with his arms folded over his chest. No more. Then I'll come back later. Matsumoto Ranju replied. Ranju, come in, Chen said aloud. It turns out that teacher Chen is here. Matsumoto Ranju pushed open the door and walked in, but she was greeted by Yi and Chong's hostile eyes. Ranju classmate, since you are so eager to learn, I will teach you Shunbu and Shiba in a while. Yi looked at Matsumoto Ranju, especially when he saw her chest, with envy in his eyes. This is also the reason why Yoichi and Dome are hostile to Matsumoto Ranku. Teacher Yaiki's teaching, I can't ask for it. Matsumoto Ranju said very gratefully, but the bitterness in his heart was going to die, and this time it was going to be miserable again. Teacher, I heard that there will be actual combat training tomorrow, is this true? Matsumoto Ranju asked. That's right, there will be actual combat training tomorrow, and it's going to be actual combat training in this world. Chen nodded and said. Now the True Spiritual Art Institute is more strict than before, and it is very unfriendly to the students in the future, especially the students of these elite classes. In the past, it was just to kill the phantoms that were specially raised in captivity, but now they go to the world to hunt phantoms. Of course, this can also allow the students to grow up quickly. Are you going to fight Shu? It feels a little scary. Matsumoto Ranju was a little uneasy. Tomorrow is me and the Yotai team. You don't have to worry about your safety, but I don't care if you are injured. Chen said to Matsumoto Ranju. Then let teacher Chen take care of me. Matsumoto Ranju blinked at Chen. Yi and Chong looked at each other with anger in their eyes. What does this mean? Could it be the man who wanted to seduce them in front of them? There is no reason for this, it is really unreasonable, this is a challenge to them. Feeling the bad eyes of Yi and Chong, Matsumoto Ranju was suddenly a little scared. This look is a bit scary. Special care is impossible. As a teacher, I treat students equally, but it's not that I can't take special care of them, but what? I have to pay something. Chen said with a smile. Pay something. Matsumoto Ranju was stunned for a moment, and then his face suddenly turned to Yui. Chen, you bastard, die. Yi angrily punched Chen in the head. It hurts, damn it, what is your head made of, why is it so hard? Yi rubbed his fist. Mr. Chen, are you really okay? Matsumoto Ranju looked at Chen worriedly, and at Yi's punch, showing no mercy at all. It's a big thing, but as long as Luanju gives me a kiss, maybe I can be resurrected with blood. Chen smiled and looked at Luanju. Is that so? Luanju hesitated for a moment, and then kissed Yui with a flushed face, which made Chendu couldn't help but stay for a while. With a touch, Matsumoto Ranju hurriedly ran out. Did she really believe it? Chen scratched his hair. Chen, shouldn't you explain something? Chong asked lightly. Chen turned around and looked at the two women standing in front of him, hugging black energy, feeling a little cold. Since you want to explain, then I'll give you an explanation. Chen reached out and took the two of them in his arms, and then the figure disappeared. A few hours later, Chong and Yi lay helplessly on the tatami. You two are really weak in combat. Chen teased at the two of them. Go, die. Chong's weak fist hit Chen's body. The next morning, Chen looked at the academies in front of him and reached out to open a space channel. Now come with me to the world. Mr. Chen, isn't teacher Yi also going? Matsumoto Ranju asked suspiciously. Teacher Yi is not feeling well today, so I will take full responsibility. Come in with me. After Chen finished speaking, he walked into the space passage. Ichimaru Silver looked at Chen's back, his eyes twinkling, but Aizen gave him an order to pay more attention to Chen. That's right, Ichimaru Silver got mixed up with Aizen a long time ago, and of course the purpose was to avenge Matsumoto Ranki from the beginning. Although Matsumoto Ranju was not injured because of Chen's reasons, he was also frightened and feared for a long time. Ichimaru Silver decided to avenge her a long time ago. There are not many students in the elite class, there are only less than 20 people in total, and Byakuya Kuchiki is among them. What you have to do now is to hunt down enough dummies. I will place dummy bait, and soon big dummies will be attracted. Chen looked at them and said. The special spiritual power emitted by the virtual bait has a strong temptation to the virtual, and the virtual will appear soon. In addition to the small ones who can only roar, there is also a powerful guy like Kiryan. However, the Kayla Security Department was imprisoned by Chen Yingdao, and the actual combat training did not let them die, nor would they face unsolvable opponents. Ichimaru Silver glanced at Chen secretly, then took out a false bait and crushed it. This virtual bait was given to him by Aizen, an enhanced version of the virtual bait. Chen glanced at Ichimaru Silver, but didn't speak. Chen knew that Ichimaru Silver had been mixed with Aizen now, but is it to disgust him now? Could it be that the lesson he gave Aizen was too small before, and he continued to jump up again? If that's the case, it seems that he will have to find another opportunity to teach him a lesson. With the special spiritual power emanating from the virtual bait, a large number of Killian were drawn out, and in addition to Killian, Achukas was also drawn. Chapter 686 Byakuya Kuchiki's Senbon Sakura. To be able to lure Yachukas over, the virtual bait that Aizen researched is really good. Chen said lightly. 61 Binding Roads 6 Stand Light Prison. All the big voids were blocked by the 6 Paths light sheet, and even Ichukas could not do anything. However, even if he couldn't move, the powerful spiritual pressure emitted was still very strong, and the students around were crushed to the ground because of the powerful spiritual pressure. How come there are so many Killian and Ichukas? Kuchiki Byakuya bit Kiba and looked at the many Killian and Ichukas seriously. Now the number of Killian has exceeded 30, and there is also an Ichukas. The powerful Reiatsu makes most people feel that their bodies are about to collapse. Teacher Chen, is it really okay? Matsumoto Ranju looked at Shang Chen. It must be very laborious to stop so many emptiness. It's okay, it's just some trash, you guys continue to train. Chen said calmly. But we were oppressed by the Reiatsu and couldn't move. Matsumoto Ranju said embarrassedly. This situation is really embarrassing. Under the pressure of Shu's powerful spirit, it is very difficult for them to even move. What a hassle. Laser. 190 inches. Ichukas was destroyed directly, and only 2 of Killian were left, but they were all killed in an instant. Kuchiki Byakuya widened his eyes and turned his head to look at the man standing at the back. He didn't expect him to be so strong. Kuchiki's family had a bad relationship with Chen, and he didn't have a good impression of Chen, especially knowing that Chen had beaten his grandfather. Kuchiki Byakuya vowed to wash away the shame for his grandfather. However, after seeing Chen kill dozens of Killian in an instant, and an Ichukas who could rival the captain, he suddenly lost confidence. It's amazing. I didn't expect the teacher to be so powerful. Could it be that all the captains are so powerful? Didn't you say that the 4th division is not good at fighting? Even if the 4th division captain who is not good at fighting is so strong, how strong will the other division captains be? The 2 Killians will be left to you to deal with. Chen glanced at the remaining 2 Killians. These 2 of them could still be dealt with. Whether it is Kuchiki Byakuya or Ichimaru Silver, their strength is not weak, and they can basically solve it easily against Killian. The 2 Killians were suddenly released from their restraints, roared, and then rushed towards this side. Let's run quickly. Some practitioners fled in a panic. Kun Komer, the mask of flesh and blood, all phenomena, flying wings, and the thing in the name of human beings. Burning heat and strife, rolling south across the sea, and marching forward. Breaking Road 31 Red Cannons. Quote. The ghost path sung by Matsumoto Ranju made a Killian fly a long distance, but that's all. The defense is so strong, but I didn't get hurt. Matsumoto Ranju frowned as he looked at Killian who got up again. Let's scatter. Senbon Sakura. The blade is broken down into countless invisible blades, and the light shines like flying petals. It must be said that the splendor of Senbon Sakura is truly extraordinary. Wow tilde. Is this Shikai from Zanpakuto? As expected from the Kuchiki family of the 4 great nobles, he's amazing. Kuchiki Byakuya Shikai aroused the exclamation of everyone, but Kuchiki Byakuya's Zanpakuto really pulled the wind. The power, this effect is definitely stronger than anyone's Zanpakuto. Countless petal blades strangled towards one of Killian. The wrapped Killian was severely injured and was almost killed. The cuts of countless blades were extremely miserable. Awesome Zanpakuto. Ichimaru Silver looked at Byakuya Kuchiki. Shinbin Sakura can not only attack, but also defend. He is a Zanpakuto who is both offensive and defensive, but from Chen's point of view, his attack power is somewhat insufficient. The attack power is too scattered, and against people with poor defense, this 360-degree attack without dead ends may be able to instantly kill the opponent. But if you deal with people with strong defenses, it will be a little embarrassing, and there may be a phenomenon of being unable to move. But in general, this Zanpakuto is very powerful. He also has Bankai. After Bankai, the White Emperor sword is quite powerful, making up for the lack of attack. However, if I compare Ichimaru Silver's Zanpakuto, Chen still thinks Ichimaru Silver's Zanpakuto is stronger, and Aizen was almost killed by Ichimaru Silver. Shoot him. Sharp gun. Before Kiryan could react, Ichimaru Silver's sharp gun shot directly to kill the opponent, and even Kuchiki Byakuya couldn't see it clearly. Silver is so powerful, Ranku Matsumoto was very surprised to see Ichimaru Silver using Shikai. Soon the other Kirin also died under the siege. Being able to kill Kirin, your strength is good, and you have the ability to graduate. Chen looked at Kuchiki Byakuya, Ichimaru Silver, and Matsumoto Ranki. With their strength, there is no problem in graduating now. Kuchiki Byakuya and Ichimaru Silver are definitely not weaker than the vice captain, and Matsumoto Ranju is a little weaker. After all the ghosts were killed, the 5th Division Captain Hiroko Mako and the 5th Division Vice Captain Aizen arrived. Looking at the peaceful scene, Hiroko Mako couldn't help but be stunned. What's going on? Isn't there a lot of false appearances? What about now? Aizen looked at this scene, frowned slightly, and looked at Ichimaru Silver. What are you doing here? Chen looked at the two of them indifferently. According to what the 12th Division detected, there is a lot of emptiness here. We are here to rescue. Hiroko Mako said. The 5th Division is the rescue team, which is specially responsible for rescue or something. Captain Chen, can you tell us about the situation here? Mako Hiroko asked. What's the situation? Aizen's vice captain should be very clear, right? Chen looked at Aizen who said nothing. Hiroko Mako looked at Aizen suspiciously. Captain Chen asked me what I was doing, but I've been staying in the Soul Realm, and I don't know what's going on here. Aizen had a gentle smile on his face. It's really unclear, or is it fake? Chen's eyes became colder and colder. Although he didn't know what Aizen was doing, he definitely wanted to plot against himself. Hiroko Mako frowned and glanced at Aizen, not understanding why the two of them seemed to have a big conflict. Could it be related to what they discussed last time? Aizen, remember what I said to you last time? Have Captain Chen told me anything? I seem to have forgotten. I wonder if Captain Chen can remind me. Lan Ran said with a smile. Well, I'll remind you. I hope you don't forget it this time. This is the last time. Chen smiled and looked at Aizen. For some reason, seeing Chen's smile now, Aizen felt chills all over her body. I am now solemnly warning you. Don't provoke me. If you provoke me again, I will kill you. Chen squeezed his neck with one hand, lifted him up and said indifferently. Chapter 687 Try to get stronger and get revenge on me. Captain Chen, what are you doing? Hiroko Mako asked with a frown. It's nothing, just give him a deeper lesson, lest he jump up and down. Chen said while pinching Lan Ran's neck. Do you feel the breath of death is approaching? Chen asked lightly. Aizen didn't speak, he couldn't speak at all, just like Hecken said, Aizen really felt the breath of death. With a wave of his hand, Aizen was thrown out, and then he stepped on his head, and the powerful Reiatsu made Hiroko Mako, who wanted to stop it, unable to move. Aizen's head was stepped on the ground, feeling ultimate's humiliation, and Aizen, who was very proud in his heart, was trampled under his feet, which was more uncomfortable than killing him. Are you showing murderous aura? But what's the use of this weak murderous aura? You are just a weak bug, you don't even have the strength to struggle. Chen said with a light smile. Are you humiliating me? Aizen asked dully. Chen smiled and then said, yes, I'm just humiliating you. Hearing Chen's words, Aizen's spiritual pressure violently rioted, but under the pressure of Chen's spiritual pressure, he couldn't turn the waves at all. Looking up hard, looking at the devilish smile on Chen's face, the unfathomable spiritual pressure made Aizen feel a sense of despair. Captain Chen, that's enough. Hiroko Mako shouted loudly. Hiroko Mako had just finished shouting, when a dazzling light Jinchuriki column hit him. Hiroko Mako was blasted out, and his body was severely injured. Shut up, miscellaneous fish, Chen said lightly without even looking at it. Teacher, is this? Matsumoto Ranju looked at this scene, his eyes were stunned. Why did he suddenly fight? Ichimaru Silver's eyes narrowed, and Aizen, whom he thought was unfathomable, was now trampled under his feet like a dead dog. Hyuga-sensei, your current behavior seems to be against the rules. Kuchiki Byakuya said. The miscellaneous fish like to stand out. Kneel down. Following Chen's indifferent voice, Kuchiki Byakuya seemed to be under unbearable pressure, and fell to the ground with a plop, unable to move halfway. Now I'm going to teach the Vice Captain Aizen, who dares to speak again. Has you seen the end of the two of them? I promise the next one will be even worse. Hearing Chen's words, other people dared to speak up. Looking at Chen's current appearance, it was like a demon king from hell. Aizen Soyusuke, do you hate me very much now? Chen moved his feet and looked down at Aizen and asked. How dare I remember Captain Hachin? Lan Ran lowered his head so that no one could see his expression. Don't hide yourself. Once you put on the mask, you can't take it off for the rest of your life. Chen said flatly. Work hard to become stronger and seek revenge for me. Now you are so weak that I can't even look at you. For the sake of your usefulness, I won't kill you. Chen suddenly retracted the oppression Reiatsu on Aizen. But I'd like to know, what do you want to do when you suddenly make such a play? Chen also didn't understand what he asked Ichimaru Silver to do with those false leads. Was it to deal with him? Aizen, who knew his strength, should not be so naive. Aizen didn't speak, but now Aizen admits that he thought he had overestimated Hyuga Chen enough, but he still underestimated him. Don't you want to say it? Don't say it. I don't want to know anymore, but don't come to trouble me next time, do you understand? Chen looked at Aizen seriously. Aizen remained silent. Snapped. I'm asking you something, didn't you hear it? Chen looked at Aizen, who was slapped away with a slap, his eyes cold. Aizen got up from the ground, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and showed a reluctant smile on his face. Captain Chen's teaching, Lan Ran, Yusuke, will definitely keep in mind. Lan Ran raised her head to look at Chen. Her glasses had fallen, and the depths of her eyes were filled with a coldness that freezes people's hearts. This is the best way, or that sentence. If you want to avenge me today, then go and become stronger. Chen had a gentle smile on his face. This gentle smile made Aizen feel cold in her heart. It's over, follow me back to the Soul Realm. Chen turned his head and looked at the students. Without the oppression of Reiatsu, Byakuya Kuchiki also got up from the ground and clenched his fists tightly. Today, he made Kuchiki's face completely lost. After opening the space channel, Chenmai walked in, and all the students followed suit. Aizen glanced at it, then walked towards Hirako Mako. Captain Hirako, are you okay now? Aizen asked Mako Hirako. Hirako Mako got up, stared at Aizen and asked, why did Captain Chen attack you? There must be a reason, right? Tell me. Maybe it's because Captain Chen can't get used to my unsatisfactory appearance and thinks that I'm too weak, and it's the reason why I'm embarrassing the Soul Society. Lan Ran said with a smile. Hirako Mako's eyes narrowed. At this time, Aizen could still laugh, and his mind was really deep. Let's return to Serai T2. Hirako Mako looked at Aizen for a long time, and then said. On Aizen's face, Hirako Mako didn't notice anything wrong, but he was sure that there was definitely something wrong with Aizen, and it was still possible to provoke Hyuga-chan. Although Hirako Mako didn't know Hyuga-chan very well, he also knew that he was very indifferent and would not make friends with other people, but he would not attack others for no reason. So there must be a reason for the blue dye shot. After returning to Serai T, Aizen said goodbye and left alone and came to his secret laboratory. After entering here, the smile on Aizen's face disappeared, and a demon-like expression appeared on his face. Hyuga-chan, the humiliation I suffered today will definitely be repaid in the future. Aizen said coldly. Come out, Silver, I have seen you, so don't hide it. Aizen calmed the hatred in her heart and said lightly. As expected of Aizen-sama, you are so sharp. Ichimaru Silver came out with a sly fox-like smile on his face. Lord Aizen's plan this time seems to have failed. Not only did he fail to bring trouble to the captain of the 4th Division, but he made himself a little embarrassed. Ichimaru Silver said with a smile. I took it too much for granted. Conspiracy and tricks are totally useless against that guy. But next time, I'll let him die without a place to be buried. Aizen took out a blue-purple gem. If Chen sees this gem, it will definitely feel familiar, because this is Bengyu, and Aizen has already made Bengyu. It was created after sacrificing tens of thousands of Soul Street to have the soul to become an elite death god. However, this does not have the full effect of collapsing jade. It takes 2 collapsing jade to fuse to be regarded as a complete collapsing jade. Another collapsed jade was invented by Urahara Kazuki, but I don't know if he has completed it now. Chapter 688 Work with Old Man Yamamoto. Captain Chen, I heard that you beat the Vice Captain Aizen and also severely injured Captain Hirako. I wonder if this is the case. The old man asked Chen, looking at him. Yes, Old Man Yamamoto, you are well informed. Chen nodded and admitted. Hey, it's best if you don't admit it at this time. Yi said to Chen. It was originally from me, so what's not to admit? Old Man Yamamoto, what are you going to do? Chen said nonchalantly. Captain Hyuga, do you know that it is forbidden for captains to hurt each other? The powerful and terrifying Reiatsu of the Old Man Yamamoto was released, the entire 4th Division team building was shaking, and the 4th Division's Grim Reaper members fainted. Old Man Yamamoto, this is my territory, what do you mean? Are you protesting against me? Chen also released a powerful spiritual pressure, and pressed the Old Man Yamamoto's spiritual pressure back. The terrifying Reiatsu shocked the Old Man Yamamoto, and his eyes suddenly widened. The Old Man Yamamoto was shocked, then withdrew his Reiatsu and asked indifferently, do you think it's right to injure other captains? Should I come and question you? Actually, in my eyes, there are only strong and weak. The rules you set are just a bunch of nonsense. Chen said lightly. You are defying my authority. The Old Man Yamamoto stood up, and this time he finally couldn't bear it anymore. A strong person can break everything, right? Will the strong follow the rules set by the weak? So I don't think it's wrong for me to hurt them. It's my kindness for not killing them. Chen said indifferently. It's really full of gunpowder. They won't fight, right? Yi Xiang asked Ujawali. It's possible. Ujawali nodded solemnly. He knew Yamamoto Motoyanagi and Unahakali very well, and what he hated most was those who flouted the rules he made. Very well, you are very dangerous, said the Old Man Yamamoto angrily. The Old Man Yamamoto felt that Hyuga Chen's thoughts were too dangerous. Since you think your strength is very strong, then come and fight with me. If you win, this old man won't hold you accountable for anything in the future. If you lose, you will give this old man 1,000 years of self-reflection. What? Yi's face changed, and he immediately looked at Shang Chen. Don't worry, this old man is not Chen's opponent, Chang said calmly. Chang said that after using Bankai, he could kill the old man, not to mention Chen. I believe in Chen's strength, Mao Zhawali said. You guys are very confident in him. But I'm still worried, Kiryu Hazun said worriedly. The name of Old Man Yamamoto's strongest death god has been circulated for many years, and his powerful image has long been deeply rooted in the hearts of the people. Lord Chen, let's help you. Halibal and Nailu suddenly appeared and stood in front of Chen. The Old Man Yamamoto looked at Halibal and Nailu, first stunned, then furious. The Old Man Yamamoto could feel the spirit pressure of Shu. These two guys are Shu, and this guy Hyuga Chen is still hiding Shu. Hyuga Chen, you are simply unforgivable. The cane in Old Man Yamamoto's hand split instantly, revealing the Zanpakuto inside. Blatantly provoking the authority of the old man will imprison you in eternal. The momentum of the Old Man Yamamoto rose to the sky. Kiraku Chunsui, who was drinking with Shiruro Yukitaki, was stunned when he felt this terrifying Reiatsu. Isn't this the Reiatsu of Old Man Shan? It seems to have come from the 4th Division. What happened? Don't say it, let's go take a look. Shiro Yukitaki stood up and rushed towards the 4th Division. Not only them, but other captains also felt this spiritual pressure, and rushed towards the 4th Division. After arriving, they saw Chen and Yamamoto facing each other. It seems that there is a good show to watch, and my plan is not unsuccessful. Aizen's eyes twinkled. Originally, Aizen wanted to cause casualties to the students during the previous actual combat training. If there were any casualties, the old man Yamamoto would definitely be held accountable. Based on Aizen's understanding of Chen, if the old man Yamamoto asks the guilt, the two will definitely have a conflict. Aizen just wants the old man Yamamoto and Chen to have a conflict. But now it seems to be better than what he planned. Now it is not a contradiction, but a conflict. Old man Chan, what the hell is going on? How about putting away the spiritual pressure first? Tell me slowly if you have something to do. Jingle Chunchui shouted. Shut up, today I will teach the disobedient kid a lesson. The old man Yamamoto said coldly. Let's fight. Only the winner has the right to speak. Chen Dan said with a smile. Then come and taste this old man's fist. The old man Yamamoto raised a gust of wind and disappeared in an instant. Although it looks like a little old man, the speed is so fast that most people can't catch the old man Yamamoto's speed at all. Don't blame me for not respecting the old and loving the young. Chen turned sideways to avoid the fist of the old man Yamamoto, then raised his fist and hit the old man Yamamoto in the abdomen. The old man Yamamoto was blasted out of the 4th Division team. The 4th Division was also Chen's home, and Chen didn't want to destroy his home because of the battle. You can just watch, don't interfere, otherwise I won't be responsible for being killed. Chen looked at them and said lightly. Are you playing for real? Jingle Chunchui asked in astonishment. Damn, Hyuga Chen is really fierce, and he actually blew the old man away with one punch. Is it because the old man has become weak, or is Hyuga Chen too strong? Find a way to stop them first. Chunchui, Yukitaki Shuru said. To stop what? Do you think we can intervene? Jingle Chunchui said helplessly. As far as the spiritual pressure of these two people broke out, it was difficult for them to approach. How could they intervene? Aizen stared closely. Chen and Yamamoto Yuan Luzezong were both his great enemies, and Aizen would not let go of the slightest detail. Captain Ujiwa, what should I do? Jingle Chunchui looked at Ujiwali. Ujiwali did not speak, but stopped Hannibal and Nailu who were going to help Chen. You don't need to make 4.9 moves, you have to have confidence in Chen, not to mention that your intervention will only make the situation worse. Anuhan Alai said to Hannibal and Nailu. Maojawali had full confidence in Chen Yu, and when she met him at first, Chen Kei killed her with one knife. Although Yamamoto Yuanyugai Shigekuni is also very strong, he absolutely cannot kill her in one move, so Ujiwali has confidence in Chen. Master Jing, I think you should evacuate the people first. Otherwise, you will see it too. Ujiwali reminded Jingle Chunchui. Yes, first evacuate the members of each division. Jingle Chunchui nodded fiercely. The battle between these two people has spread too widely. If they are accidentally involved, even their captains will not benefit. And the ordinary death team members, if they are involved, it will definitely be a dead end. Chapter 689 Chen vs Yamamoto Old Man. Your white beating is very good. No wonder you dare to ignore the rules set by the old man, but you are still too far behind. The old man Yamamoto said with narrowed eyes. Ha tilde, it's you who has been beaten all the time, and you have the face to say such things. It seems that I want to look at you, old man Yamamoto, too. Chen said with a chuckle. Humph, that's just the old man letting you. The old man Yamamoto felt that his face could not be hung. Just received a few punches, and even a punch in the face, looking a little swollen. Shunbu. The figure of the old man Yamamoto disappeared like a ghost, and then appeared on the top of Chen's head, punching Chen. Little old man, your speed is very sensitive. Flexible little old man. Chen reached out and held his fist. Feeling his own power, disappearing like a stone sinking into the sea, Yamamoto Motoryu Saijokuni frowned. To be honest, Hyuga Chen is definitely the most terrifying power he has ever seen. No matter how strong his power is, the opponent can easily follow 22. 80 God's Vacuum Attack. Seeing the distracted old man Yamamoto, Chen moved instantly, and he dared to lose his mind even in the battle with him. The old man Yamamoto was really courageous. Countless vacuum fists hit the old man Yamamoto. No, binding road number 81, breaking the sky. The old man Yamamoto came back to his senses immediately, and then used the binding road number 81 to break the sky. The defensive wall formed by Duenkong was instantly shattered, and then the fist continued to hit the old man Yamamoto. The attack and defense were integrated, and the merciless punch hit the old man Yamamoto. Every punch was a sure kill blow. The sky was pierced, and the entire Soul Society seemed to be shaking. How is it possible? There is such a powerful move. Is it a ghost or a white fight? Jingle Chunshui said in disbelief. It's not Reiatsu, it seems to be another kind of energy. Lan Ran frowned and said to herself. Teacher will be okay, Yukitake Shuru asked worriedly. I don't know about this either, but if the person who was beaten was me, I would have died by now. Jingle Chunshui said. Sure enough, Lord Chen is the strongest, no one can stop Lord Chen. Hallible's eyes were filled with admiration. Old man Yamamoto, I deliberately kept my hand, you won't be killed, right? Chen said. He didn't intend to kill old man Yamamoto, so he also kept the 80 gods vacuum attack he used, so he shouldn't kill old man Yamamoto. Humph, do you think this old man needs you to keep your hand? The old man Yamamoto snorted coldly, standing in the rubble, propped up with Zanpakuto, and was seriously injured. That's it. You should know by now that you are not my opponent. Chen said lightly. Little devil, are you underestimating the old man too much? The old man Yamamoto was even more furious when he heard Chen's words, and the spiritual pressure rose like wolf smoke, which was extremely terrifying. Shinra Bansho, all creation, all ashes. Ryujin Jaka. The old man Yamamoto pulled out Zanpakuto, and then used Shikai. After Shikai, the powerful Reiatsu intensified again, and there was a scorching airflow in the air. Shikai, it seems that the old man is serious this time. Jingle Chunshui's eyes were serious. As a qualified captain, Jingle Chunshui, of course, had seen the Shikai of the old man Yamamoto. Such a powerful Shikai, I feel like everything around me is going to melt away. Zibo said with one heart. Shiba Isshin is the captain of the 10th Division, and he also has an identity as the father of the future protagonist Ichigo Kurosaki. He slashed out a knife at a super fast speed, slashing out a huge sword energy. Captain Yamamoto, your speed is too slow. Chen appeared behind him, holding Ryujin Jaka in his hand. Actually, I also have Ryujin Jaka. Chen drew his sword in an instant, and with one move, Juheizan slashed the old man Yamamoto flying. Shinra Bansho, all creation, all ashes. Ryujin Jaka. Chen's Zanpakuto, an explosive flame that can erase everything is released, a powerful flame that turns the ground into scorched earth. How is it possible? I remember that Captain Hyuga's Zanpakuto was not this one. Yukitake Shuru said with a frown. When they were in the virtual circle, they saw Chen liberate Zanpakuto. It was obviously a long spear, but now it has become Ryujin Jaka. Calmer one is Aizen, even his Zanpakuto Kyoka Shueyu, and one more Ryujin Jaka. Aizen is not surprising. Now Aizen's face is so ugly that he is dying, and his evaluation of Chen has improved again. It seems that it is really not easy to take revenge. You actually own Ryujin Jaka, so you should know the rules defined by the corpse soul, right? The old man Yamamoto got up, ignoring the wound behind him. The clothes on the upper body were shattered, revealing the upper body with vertical and horizontal scars. These scars are all the testimony of old man Yamamoto's life and the glory of his strong man. Captain Yamamoto, bursting clothes is not a good habit. As for the rules defined by corpses, sorry, I always break the rules, or do you want to be killed by me? Chen looked at the old man Yamamoto seriously. Soul Society stipulates that no two people can hold the same Zanpakuto. Burn the city on fire. The huge flame palm shrouded towards Chen, and the high temperature of 6,000 degrees could melt the steel without touching it. A knife cut open the huge flame palm, and then continued to slash towards the old man Yamamoto. Block me. The old man Yamamoto blocked the sword energy that came over, his body was knocked back several kilometers, and his legs sank deeply into the ground. Looking at the old man Yamamoto who was already panting, Chen walked over step by step. Do you want to continue to hold on? Your physical strength can't keep up. HMPH. How can I be underestimated by a brat like you? I must imprison you and ask you about your sins. It is an unforgivable sin. The old man Yamamoto said coldly. Captain Yamamoto, I have never murdered you, and you should not go too far, or I will not help but kill you with one knife. Don't talk too much. In this world, there is no one who can defeat this old man, Huo refused. A powerful explosion erupted, shaking everything around it. However, Chen remained motionless, and the powerful explosions had no effect on him at all. Chen, who possessed Ryujinjaka, was not afraid of the extremely high-temperature explosions. In the same way, old man Yamamoto is not afraid of explosive flames. Even the explosive flames released by the enemy will not hurt him unless it is a stronger flame. It's on fire, hurry up and put out the fire. Aikawa Luowu, the captain of the 7th Division, shouted. Now the captain of the 7th Division is still Aikawa Luowu, not the left formation of Ogokomura. Go and put out the fire first. Jingle Chunshui shouted. 2 shikai of Ryujinjaka, the temperature was too high, causing a fire in the entire Saraiti. The main reason is that Seo Lingting's house, many of which are made of wood, so it is normal to cause a fire, and it is strange that there is no fire. Chapter 690 The old man Yamamoto was defeated. Old man Shan, hurry up and stop fighting. Look at what Searing Ting is like now. Jingle Chunshui shouted to old man Yamamoto. The old man Yamamoto turned a deaf ear and focused all his attention on Chen. It's useless, once Mr. Yuan Lusai is serious, he can't stop it at all. Let's find a way to minimize the loss of the Soul Society. Shuru Yukitaki shook his head and said. Captain Yamamoto, why are you so persistent? Chen asked indifferently when he blocked old Yamamoto's slash. Humph, you are the enemy of the Soul Society just because you are hiding the void. This old man will never allow it. The old man Yamamoto said with a cold snort. Air slash. Chen hit the old man Fei Yamamoto, and then slashed down with a knife, tearing the sky in half. The huge air slash caused a big hole in the ground, and the house was all divided into 2 halves. Old man Shan, Jingle Chunshui was already there, and hurried over. You don't have to come here, I'm not dead yet. The old man Yamamoto stood up with his heavily injured body, and said in an unquestionable tone. It's all beaten like this, old man Yamamoto is really stubborn, he really doesn't want to care about this old man. Jingle Chunshui scratched his head and said. Everything in Vientiane is ashes, Bankai Zenka no Tachi. The old man Yamamoto used his strongest trump card Bankai, the original explosive flame disappeared, and all the flames were absorbed into Zenka no Tachi. In such a mess, you actually use Bankai. Jingle Chunshui frowned, feeling that his blood was rapidly evaporating. I feel like I'm dying, is this Captain Yamamoto's Bankai? Urahara Kazuki said. If the teacher doesn't release Bankai soon, maybe we will really die. Shiro Yukitaki said bitterly. The entire Sarange has become scorched, and the water in the soul world is rapidly evaporating, and it will be a dead place soon. It's so hot. Can Dad end the fight soon? Bachanliu said dryly. I have to deal with you quickly. The old man Yamamoto looked at Chen seriously. That's what I want to say. My daughter Bachanliu is too hot. Chen appeared in front of the old man Yamamoto. Zenka no Tachi West Sunshine Prison Clothes. Seeing Chen approaching, the old man Yamamoto turned his spiritual pressure into a 15 million degree flame, like a sun. It's useless, it can't stop me. Chen's hand stretched out through the flames and grabbed old Yamamoto's Zenka no Tachi. What? You were able to catch Zenka no Tachi? The old man Yamamoto was so shocked that his eyes almost fell. Your Zenka no Tachi has no effect on me at all. I used Zenka no Tachi more skillfully than you, believe it or not. I don't believe it, I still can't subdue you little brat. Old man Yamamoto's fist smashed hard towards Chen. 6 paths 8 trigrams 361. Countless fists and palm prints shrouded the old man Yamamoto. Under the attack of this fist, the old man Yamamoto was like a lonely boat in the sea, suffering the blow of the storm. After Chen finished the fight, the Zanpakuto in the hands of the old man Yamamoto fell to the ground. The Bankai had been lifted, all the spiritual pressure of the old man Yamamoto was blocked, and his power was completely deprived. Old man Yamamoto, you are still far behind. Chen looked down at the old man Yamamoto who fell to the ground, unable to move. What kind of move are you doing? The old man Yamamoto raised his head and asked, feeling that his spiritual pressure and physical strength were all sealed. The current old man Yamamoto is weaker than an ordinary person. This is not important, the important thing is that you have lost now. Chen said lightly. I'm really lucky to finally save my life. But it seems that Captain Yamamoto has been defeated. Shiba said with one heart. Yeah, if we hold Bankai for a while, we may have turned to ashes, and maybe there will be no ashes left. Urahara Kazuki said with a sigh of relief. Since the old man lost to you, it's up to you. The old man Yamamoto said with a cold snort. If that's the case, then you don't care about my affairs in the future. No matter what I do, whether it's right or wrong, I don't need anyone else to evaluate it. Chen turned and left. The seal will be automatically released after a month. Chen said by the way when he left. Chen, are you alright? Maoshawali stepped forward to check Chen's situation and found that Chen was not injured, so he was relieved. It's so hot. It's about to melt, can you lower the temperature? Kasuga Yi-chong asked with a cracked corner of his mouth. This is very simple, Hyoten ice style ice age. The scorching hot air around it dissipated, turning into extremely cold freezing air, and frost began to spread. Wow it's so comfortable all of a sudden. Bachinliu jumped on Chen's back and said happily. Captain Chen, what's the situation with old man Shan now? Jingle Chunshui asked Chen. It's alright, I didn't kill him, but the seal will be lifted in a month. Let him enjoy the incomparable weakness during this time. Chen said with a wave of his hand. I originally wanted to avoid the 4th team building, but I didn't expect the 4th team's team building to be destroyed. Chen looked at the 4th team that had disappeared. Zanka no Tachi of the old man Yamamoto directly reduced all the surrounding buildings to ashes. Forget it, let's rebuild a more luxurious one. Senpo, Sage Art Mokuden, Wood Style even Jinchuriki, Column House Art. In the blink of an eye, the brand new 4th Division team building was established, which was more luxurious and beautiful than the previous one. What a beautiful house. Bachinliu happily dragged Nailu and ran in. Fuck me, you will still build a house. Jingle Chunshui has 100,000 lies in his heart, isn't it possible that you can't? Ryujin Jaka that I used before, and the ice-type move, have now built a house. Captain Chen, since this is the case, all the destroyed houses in the Soul Society will be handed over to you. Don't do it, I won't do anything that is not beneficial. Chen refused directly. It was destroyed because you fought. No, most of it was destroyed by old man Yamamoto, and it has nothing to do with me. Chen immediately shied the responsibility. How about paying? I can give you money, you can always give me money, right? If that's the case, it's not impossible, but if I give less, I will never do it. Chen said while pinching his chin. In the end, each division pooled money and asked Chen to help them rebuild the team building. There was no way, the previous team building had been completely burned by Bankai of old man Yamamoto. Of course, part of it was caused by Chen's slash. I earned a lot of money all at once. Dad is really amazing. Bachinliu sat on the ground counting money with his eyes shining. Being so financially obsessed, I've even competed with Nami. Chen patted Bachinliu's head. Who is Nami? Chong asked suddenly. Chen smiled slightly, and then said, you will know this later. Chapter 691 Into the System Space. Draw again. Why did you appear here? Chong stood on the steps, looking at Matsumoto Ranju opposite, but standing on the steps, Chang was still not as tall as Matsumoto Ranju. Because the teacher suddenly didn't go to teach, so I came to visit. Matsumoto Ranju said. That's really unfortunate, that guy isn't here, Chang said. Really? But I heard teacher Chen's voice before. Matsumoto Ranju tilted his head and said. Come in. Chang stepped aside angrily and let Matsumoto Ranju come in. Mr. Chen, I'm here to see you. Matsumoto Ranju walked in and said. It turned out to be Luanju. Luanju came here to find me, is there something wrong? Chen asked suspiciously. That I was because Mr. Kanchan suddenly didn't go to class, so I came here to see it. Oh, Chen nodded, then looked at Matsumoto Ranju suspiciously. Isn't the True Central Spiritual Art Institute already on holiday? Because of what happened a few days ago, the True Central Spiritual Art Institute has been on holiday, don't you know? Chen looked at Matsumoto Ranju strangely. It's a holiday. Matsumoto Ranju's eyes widened, and then he said, but you didn't say anything at all. Yi looked at Chen, could it be that he forgot to notify his students? Chen scratched his hair embarrassedly. This was indeed the fact that he forgot to notify the students in his class. By the way, teacher, what happened before? I heard that the teacher and Captain Yamamoto had a fight. I don't know if it's true. Matsumoto Ranju asked curiously. Of course it's true, old man Yamamoto couldn't take care of himself when he was beaten by me. If it wasn't for me looking at his age, he would be a little pitiful and would have sent him to see God. What Chen said is also true. Now the seriously injured old man Yamamoto is indeed unable to take care of himself. Those injuries can't be recovered in half a year. Who is God? God is God. No matter what I do, anyway, I have already decided that when I gain invincible strength, I will hack him to death first. Chenpai said with a wave of his hand. In that case, Mr. Chen, can I train here? Matsumoto Ranju looked at Chen expectantly and asked. Of course, you can go to the training ground and let Broken Bee teach you. Chen nodded and said. Broken Bee will come here for training after dealing with the second division. In terms of training, Broken Bee works very hard, which is different from Shanyu Yei. Chen, the salted fish, also knows to pursue strength, and Yi is the real salted fish now, she is the purest salted fish. Thank you, Teacher Chen, Matsumoto Ranju said. By the way, Mr. Chen, after I graduate, can I join the 4th division? Chen Wenyan suddenly glanced at Yuzhou Kiryu. Yushu Kiryu was stunned for a while, then asked, what do you think I'm doing? Actually, I would like to know, why do you all like to come to the 4th division? Chen asked out of words. Then why did you join the 4th division? Is it for the sake of Karatsu Uno? Kiryu Hazun asked rhetorically. There's a part of the reason. But it's not the whole reason, because I think the 4th division is more laid back. Chen Tansho said. If you want to come to the 4th division, I will not object, but you have to think about it. The 4th division is relatively boring, and there is basically no battle. Chen said to Luanju. It doesn't matter, it just so happens that I don't like fighting either, peace or something is best. Matsumoto Ranju said with a smile. Luanju went to train with Broken Bee, Yi followed to observe. Chen was very bored lying on the tatami. I'll leave, Chen said to Ujiwali and the others, and then disappeared in an instant. Where did you go? It disappears often, isn't it because of hooking up with a little sister, right? You have to be careful with Ujiwali. Be careful that your status is not guaranteed. Hibun Kiryu said with a smile. You should pay more attention to yourself. Don't think that I don't know why you joined the 4th team. Ujiwali said. In the system space, Chen appeared here. Are Kushina and Hancock fighting again? As soon as I came in, I saw the scene of Kushina and Hancock fighting. Wow Big Pervert is here, Hanabi shouted loudly after seeing Chen. The little girl is really courting death, let's see how I teach you. Chen grabbed the little girl Hanabi. Hanabi immediately showed a pitiful expression. I don't dare to talk nonsense anymore, please let me go. Let go of you, how is it possible? this is not the first time you have promised me that, if you don't teach you a lesson, you are really going to heaven. Chen knocked Hanabi's head. Hanabi really wants to die, Sugar said, and at the same time, he was very fortunate that he didn't die with Hanabi. It's really rare that Chen came to see us. I thought you had already forgotten us, Makoto said. Makoto, I come here often. Chen let go of Hanabi, hugged Makoto and kissed him. It's really biased, I want it too, I don't want to lose to Makoto. Kushina rushed over and said. After Chen came in, Kushina and Hancock stopped fighting and flew towards this side. Husband Kun, the concubine wants to kill you. Hancock rushed to Chen's back, and soon Chen was drowned by the girls. For a whole afternoon, Chen was submerged in the gentle village. Is there already so many lottery draws? Chen looked at the 262 lottery draws, which means that Chen has been in the world of death for more than 200 years. Let's try it out by drawing a prize, hoping to get some of Pervert's things. Chen was ready to give his luck. When he came to the world of death, Chen drew a total of 3 prizes, and also got Bengyu and a shallow beating. The draw begins. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Zanpakuto gun. Actually a Zanpakuto magic gun. Now in the world of death, the chances of drawing Zanpakuto are indeed high, and the magic gun is not bad, and this lottery is not a loss. One more draw. Congratulations to the host for getting Zanpakuto higher in Maru. It's another Zanpakuto. Can the system come with a different one? Although these 2 Zanpakuto have good abilities, they are not very useful to me. Chen couldn't help complaining. The lottery is entirely up to the host's luck. System, you actually answered, it's incredible, Chen said in surprise. With Shuiheim, the system elf, the system seldom made a sound. No, it seldom made a sound before Shuiheim. Forget it. Another lottery draw. I hope you won't let me down. Wu Huang's anger explodes. Chen Zhongru roared. Congratulations to the host for getting Zanpakuto pack of wolves. Still Zanpakuto, but this time it's a fake Zanpakuto. If you don't want to do it again, you won't have another Zanpakuto, right? However, I really gave Chen a Zanpakuto, Kuchiki Byakuya's Chinban Sakura, although Chinban Sakura is very gorgeous, but for Chen, it can only be used to pretend. Chapter 692 Smashing Bee and Harabelle's Sparring. One last time, let's see luck. Chen looked at the 4 Zanpakuto in his hand, ready to do it again. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the omnipotence and omnipotence of Yuhabak Tilda. All-knowing and omnipotent, the power that can change the future, in Chen's opinion, it is also so-so. As a person who can control time and space, Chen can also see the future, and can also reverse everything. Therefore, although this omniscient and omnipotent is powerful, it is close to invincible in the world of death, but for Chen, it still does not have much effect. Because Chen has the same ability as omniscient and omnipotent. This omnipotence and omnipotence is not powerful, and what Chen wants is the omniscience and omnipotence of God. Forget it, it doesn't look like luck. Chen closed the system panel. Brother Chen, you are here. Hyuga Hinata ran over. Hinata, do you have anything to do with me? Chen stood up from the grass and wiped Hinata's cheek. Hinata's cheeks suddenly rose, and Yuhi couldn't extricate herself in shyness. Hinata, you are still so shy, Chen said with a smile. To flirt with Hinata here, tisk tisk tilde. Tsunade's voice came. Chen glanced at Tsunade, then at Hinata, and said with a smile, actually, Tsunade, you and Hinata are similar. Hinata and Tsunade are both question marks. What does Chen's inexplicable words mean? Chen's eyes deliberately stared at the chests of the 2 women, both of them are very big. After staying in the system space for half a month, Chen left the system space and returned to the world of the God of Death again. After returning to the world of the God of Death, the time in this world only passed 1 minute. In fact, Chen can arbitrarily mobilize the time of the system space, so that the world of the God of Death can pass hundreds of years, and the system space only passes 1 minute, or it can make the system space pass hundreds of years, and the world of the god of death only passes 1 minute. Chen, you suddenly left and suddenly appeared again, what are you doing? Chong asked curiously. Get 4 Zanpakuto. Chen put the 4 Zanpakuto drawn on the table. The 4 Zanpakuto are God Gun, Hirenmaru, Senbon Sakura, Pack Wolf. This is Zanpakuto after liberation. Where did it come from? Uno Hanaritsu asked curiously. This is a secret. If you have a chance in the future, test these 4 Zanpakuto. Chen put the 4 Zanpakuto away. These 4 Zanpakuto, and the 2 drawn by Ryujin Jaka and Kyoka Shueyu, plus the Spear of Destruction that he had awakened and liberated, Chen already had 7 Zanpakuto. The strongest is his own Zanpakuto, but it is also the one that can't be used easily, too powerful. There is also Ryujin Jaka, which is also too powerful, so it is best not to use it casually. As Captain Chen here, I'm Jingle Chunchui. Hearing Jingle Chunchui's voice, Chen walked out and looked at this guy suspiciously. Why are you gay here in the 4th division? The 4th division cannot cure this kind of disease. I'm not gay. Jingle Chunchui defended hard. Okay, don't argue, tell me your purpose. Chen interrupted immediately. Old man Shan asked me to come. Jingle Chunchui said. Old man Yamamoto asked you to come, why didn't he come by himself? Have you forgotten that he is seriously injured now? Even if he is healed, with his face-loving personality, he will definitely not come. Jingle Chunchui knew his teacher very well and loved his face very much. He was defeated by Chen, of course he didn't want to come here. What's the matter? You can say it directly. Chen nodded. I'm here for false things. You have 2 bad things here. Old man Shan won't care about them, but you can't allow them to do anything wrong. Jingle Chunchui said solemnly. Okay, they won't do anything, and they have been in the corpse soul world for a long time, and nothing has happened. Chen agreed. Then there's nothing else, that's all. Jingle Chunchui nodded and left. By the way, there are people from the 46th room in the central government. You should ignore them. Old man Shan will solve everything. Jingle Chunchui said as he left. Chen smiled, the 46 rooms in the center are just a bunch of trash. Chen came to the training ground, and Broken Bee was discussing with Hannibal, and now Broken Bee was completely suppressed. Chen, you're here. Yi Yi turned his head and looked at Chen who was approaching. Yeah, Broken Bee is still very reluctant to face Hannibal, Chen said as he watched the discussion between the two. Hannibal is very powerful, and Broken Bee is no match at all. Nailu nodded while eating the cake. Right now, Hannibal didn't use the return blade, but pressed the Shokuho who used Shikai, and the speed that Shriby was best at couldn't touch Hannibal at all. Bumblebee, your speed is still not fast enough, King John Cannon. Haribel's hollow blade was filled with spiritual power, and then released a golden slash with a power equivalent to a virtual flash. Broken Bee was completely focused, and only avoided Haribel's attack by using the empty cicada taught by Yoichi. They're all amazing, I can't see their shadows at all. Matsumoto Ranju said. If there is no accident, Broken Bee is about to fail again, I guess little Broken Bee should be very discouraged. Yi Yi said. Broken Bee used Shunpo to quickly approach Hannibal, and the small blade in her hand stabbed towards Hannibal. Haribel instantly appeared behind Broken Bee with a sound, and then slashed down with a sword. Just as he was about to slash the bees, Haribel suddenly withdrew his slash. Have you been defeated again? That's right, it's me who failed in the competition. It seems that my training is not enough. Broken Bee squatted down and said disappointedly. Actually, Broken Bee, you are already very strong. You can beat Haribel, and there are not many in the entire Soul realm. Chen walked over and stroked Broken Bee's head. Broken Bee's face was slightly yuhi, and she raised her head to look at Chen, her face steaming. Oh, is little Broken Bee shy? It's really cute. Yaiki used Shunpo to come to Broken Bee's side, and said teasingly. Broken Bee is indeed very shy, and was made very shy by Chen's slap in the head. Master Yi, don't talk nonsense. I'm not shy. Broken Bee turned her head away. But I didn't expect that after working so hard for so long, my strength didn't increase much at all. Broken Bee said disappointedly. She has not relaxed training over the years, but she feels that her strength has not improved at all. Actually, Broken Bee, your strength has increased a lot. Although you are defeated by Hallible every time, don't forget that Hallible is also working hard when you work hard. Chen said to Broken Bee. Actually, take a break when you have time. It may be better to combine work and rest. Don't think about increasing your strength all day long. Broken Bee nodded silently, but he still yearned for strength in his heart, because with strong strength, he could protect Lord Yi and Lord Chen. Chapter 693 Chen's deliberately making things difficult. You want to apply for early graduation. Chen looked at Ichimaru Silver who was standing in front of him lightly. That's right, Mr. Chen doesn't allow it. Ichimaru Silver had a fox-like smile on his face. Allow, this is for you, others will be in charge of your graduation assessment. Chen took out a piece of paper and handed it to him. Thank you, Teacher Chen, and farewell. Ichimaru Silver bowed politely, then turned to leave. But when he was about to leave the office, Ichimaru Silver suddenly stopped and asked indifferently, Mr. Chen, what do you think about Vice Captain Aizen? It's just a dispensable person. In my eyes, you are the same. You are a dispensable person, just like the weeds on the roadside, not worth mentioning. Chen took a sip of tea, faintly said. Really? It feels like Mr. Chen is very cold. Ichimaru Silver grinned. It's not cold, it's indifference. Chen raised his head and glanced at Ichimaru Silver with indifferent eyes. Ichimaru Silver was silent for a long time, and then said, Ranju seems to like Teacher Chen very much. I hope Teacher Chen will not hurt Luanju, otherwise. Ichimaru Silver didn't continue talking, but left Zanpakuto tightly. Silver's early graduation spread throughout the entire Sarange. With Ichimaru Silver's strength, the graduation examination was easily passed. For a while, Ichimaru Silver's reputation as a genius resounded through the Gote 13 team, and even old man Yamamoto paid attention. Such a potential seedling, how could old man Yamamoto not pay attention? You also want to graduate early. Chen looked at Kuchiki Byakuya standing in front of him. Was this guy stimulated by Ichimaru Silver? Kuchiki Byakuya did not speak, and looked at Chen lightly. Your gaze really annoys me, so don't think about graduating early, just wait for the official graduation. Chen waved his hand to let Kuchiki Byakuya leave. Kuchiki Byakuya heard the words, clenched his fists tightly, and asked coldly, could it be that Teacher Chen is deliberately making things difficult for me? Forget it. After all, I don't have a good relationship with your Kuimu family. If you don't make things difficult for you, you can't justify it. Chen had a smile on his face. Does it feel particularly hot now? Chen asked Kuchiki Byakuya. In fact, Chen just can't get used to his expressionless face, always with a serious face, and everyone in their Kumu family has this expression. If Teacher Chen deliberately makes things difficult, I will inform Captain Yamamoto. Kuchiki Byakuya said with a cold face. Sorry, I seriously injured old man Yamamoto not long ago. I'm afraid he can't get out of bed now, not to mention he can't take care of me. Chen said with his legs crossed. Chen wanted to see Kuchiki Byakuya's angry expression now, and it's not bad to play with him when he was bored. But let Chen disappointed, Kuchiki Byakuya didn't have anger on his face, he still had an expressionless face. Facial paralysis, Chen whispered. Oops, the atmosphere doesn't seem to be very good. Yi Yi pushed open the door and walked in. Hey, can you knock on the door and come in casually? Chen couldn't help saying. What's the matter? Are you doing something shameful? With Chinese cabbage, I rely on Tilda. I will never allow this kind of thing. Yi Yi used Shunbu to come to Chen's side, reached out and grabbed Chen's clothes and said. What kind of thing? I said Yi Yi, are you trying to crook something? Chen asked with a dark face. No, that's good, that's good. Yi Yi breathed a sigh of relief. If her man ran off to make a base, Yi Yi would probably die of anger. I'm in a bad mood right now. Chen grabbed Yi's cheek and pinched it hard. It hurts. Let go now. Kuchiki Byakuya continued to ask without expression. Mr. Chen, may I ask for my graduation application? Chinese Cabbage actually wants to apply for early graduation. Yi escaped from Chen's hands, rubbing his aching cheeks and looking at Kuchiki Byakuya. Actually, it's not impossible. As long as I take a move, I can agree. If I can't take it and clean the toilet for a month, I will also agree to your graduation application. How about it? Chen smiled and looked at it. To Kuchiki Byakuya. Kuchiki Byakuya frowned slightly, then nodded. He was also a proud person in his heart, and he didn't believe that he couldn't even take a single move. Very good, come to the training ground with me. Chen stood up, opened the door and walked out. Oops, get ready to clean the toilet. Yi followed out with great interest. Humph. Byakuya Kuchiki snorted coldly and walked out of the office together. On the training ground, a group of people gathered around here, especially girls, who were particularly interested. These are the two male gods of the True Central Spiritual Arts Academy, and they will not miss it. Although I think Kuchiki looks good, but I still don't think it can compare to Teacher Chen. I think Teacher Chen is the most handsome. Do you have any opinions? We think so too. Let's start. Scatter it. Thousand Sakura. Chen had a playful smile on his face. After Chen uttered the Shikai language, the blades of the blades spread apart, turning into small blades that were invisible to the naked eye. Under the refracted light when the blades were flying, they looked like thousands of withered cherry blossoms. Isn't this Kuchiki-san's Zanpakuto? Why does Tatsu-sensei also use it? Why? When the students around saw Tatsu Shikai, their faces were filled with disbelief. The most frightening person was Kuchiki Byakuya himself, and his paralyzed face also changed. Humph, your Zanpakuto is a fake. Byakuya Kuchiki couldn't help saying. Isn't it? You won't know if you feel it yourself. I'm going to make a move. Come on then. Scatter it. Senbon Sakura. After Shikai Kuchiki, the petals transformed from countless blades surrounded him. Although it's the same Shikai, your strength is not as good as mine. Chen Dan said with a smile. Under Chen's control, the invisible blade drowned towards Kuchiki Byakuya, and then collided with Kuchiki Byakuya's blade. In just the moment of the collision, Kuchiki Shiro 0.7 Zai's blades were all shattered, the defense was broken in an instant, and countless scars appeared on his body. After the blade dissipated, Kuchiki Byakuya fell to the ground. How is that possible? Why are all the same Shikai? Why are you stronger than me? Shouldn't Senbon Sakura belong to me alone? Kuchiki Byakuya said while biting Kiba. Walked over step by step and picked up the Zanpakuto that Kuchiki Byakuya had dropped on the ground. Now his Zanpakuto had been destroyed by Tatsu's previous attack. After Tatsu held it, Zanpakuto, which had been damaged, was instantly restored. I'll fix the knife for you. You can take care of your injuries yourself. Don't forget to clean the toilet. Chenjo waved his hand away. Byakuya held his intact Zanpakuto, got up from the ground, looked at the back of Chen's departure, and held the handle of the knife even tighter. Chapter 694th Street of Soul's Disappearance Event. Time passed slowly, and decades passed in the blink of an eye. Strange, Aizen doesn't seem to have made any big moves these years. Chen said to himself while lying on the table. I don't know when Aizen will conduct a blurring experiment, making many captains and vice-captains blurred. Now the timeline seems to have been messed up. I remember that Aizen was 9 years after Urahara Kazuki took office as the captain of the 12th Division, and he asked Dongxian to plot against it and make many captains blurred. But now Urahara Kazuki has been in office for more than 100 years, and the timeline is completely wrong. I really don't know when Aizen will be able to make a complete collapse Jade. The speed is really slow. Chen looked bored. Now Chen is waiting for Aizen to create a complete Bengyu, and then grab Bengyu. Dong dong dong. Who is it? Come in. Chen raised his head and said. It's me. Chong walked in. Chen saw Chong walking in, and put his hand on Chang's forehead to see if her head was burnt out today, and even politely knocked on the door. "What are you doing?" Chang opened Chen's hand and asked with a puffed face. "Oh, 6. It's nothing, I just feel that something is wrong with you. You knocked on the door when you came in. You have never knocked on the door before." Chen couldn't help saying. "Humph, could it be that in Chen's eyes, am I a rude person? I'm really sorry for you." Chang raised his foot and stepped on Chen. Suddenly came to me, "Is there something wrong?" Chen asked towards Chang. "I can't find you if I have nothing to do?" Chang asked rhetorically. "Qian, you can easily choke when you talk, chatter." I didn't follow you to learn." Chang pulled over the chair and sat beside Chen. "I want to sleep here, don't disturb me." Chang put the black rabbit doll on the table, and then lay down on the table. "Chen has a black line on his head. He came here to sleep. Is it more comfortable to sleep on the table than lying down at home?" "Hey Tilda, you are very popular at school." Chang suddenly took out a letter and handed it to Chen. Looking at the pink Yui-colored envelope, Chen knew what it was. "This is the confession letter that a girl gave me when I came and asked me to hand it over to you. You have to take a good look at it," Chang said, staring at Chen tightly. "Okay, don't be jealous." Chen threw the pink Yui-colored envelope aside, and then touched Chang's head. "HMPH, how can you not be jealous?" Chang snorted. "Dong dong dong. Come in," Chen said, looking at the door. "Captain Chen." Captain Yamamoto summoned all the captains to a meeting. Said the Shinigami who walked in. "Oh, there's a meeting, is there something major happening? Let's go, Chang, and take you to see it together." Chen hugged Chang, and then the figure disappeared instantly. Soon Chen and the others came to the team building of the first team, and after walking in with Chang, the other captains hadn't arrived yet. "Old man Yamamoto, long time no see." Chen greeted Old man Yamamoto. The Old man Yamamoto glanced at Chen lightly, but did not speak, quietly waiting for the arrival of the other captains. "Is it so cold? Tisk tisk tilde. Cut tilde. Do you think he can give you a good look?" Chang said while eating snacks. It didn't take long for the captains and vice-captains of Gotei 13 to arrive. At this time, the old man Yamamoto finally spoke. "I called everyone here this time for the matter of Liuhun Street. A lot of souls in the suburbs of Liuhun Street have disappeared. I want to ask the captains, do you know what's going on?" Chen Wenyan glanced at Lan Ran. Needless to say, as long as something big happens in the soul world, it is absolutely inseparable from Lan Ran. A lot of souls disappeared. Could it be caused by the souls fighting each other? Aizen asked. "You don't know what you look like, but this time I just want you to investigate," said the old man Yamamoto. "The souls of Liuhun Street can't be ignored. The disappearance of a large number of souls will have a very bad impact, and even affect the balance of the world. Moreover, most of the gods of death in Seranjay were also born in Liuhun Street, which is why old man Yamamoto paid so much attention to them. Let the 9th Division be responsible for the investigation. Do you have any opinion on Liuch Kensai?" The old man Yamamoto looked at the 9th Division captain, Liuch Kensai. "Don't worry, Captain Yamamoto, I will definitely complete the task and investigate the reason for the disappearance of the soul," Liuch Kensai assured. Chen glanced at Liuch Quanchi, then at Lan Ran, and said with a smile, "The captain of the 9th team should be careful. If you are not careful, you may overturn the car." "Does the captain of the 4th Division not believe in my ability?" Lu Che Quanchi showed dissatisfaction on his face. "I'm just advising you to be careful, but it's hard to persuade a damn ghost," Chen Dan said with a smile. Lan Ran glanced at Chen, and then adjusted his glasses. Could it be that what he did has been discovered? If he is discovered, why doesn't he expose himself, and what is his purpose? At this time, Aizen was full of questions. He didn't know what Hyuga Chen's purpose was, but instinctively guessed that Hyuga Chen's purpose had something to do with him. "You don't get in my way," Aizen said secretly. This time, I'm mainly talking to you about the disappearance of Soul Street's soul. I want you to pay more attention. There's nothing else to say. Let's end the meeting. Wait everyone, you don't know my Zanpakuto ability, right? Aizen said suddenly. Everyone looked at Aizen with doubts in their eyes. Today I want to show you my Zanpakuto ability. My Zanpakuto is the Zanpakuto of the flowing water system. After liberation, the enemies are disturbed by the chaotic reflection of fog and water to make them kill each other. Speaking of Aizen, under the gaze of everyone, Zanpakuto Kyoka Suzuki 887 was liberated. Break it. Mirror Flower Water Moon. The liberation of Kyoka Shueyu is indeed accompanied by fog and flowing water, but the ability is not what Aizen said. Now all the captains of the entire Sarange are hypnotized by Aizen. Seeing this scene, Aizen smiled and then looked at Shangchen. Aizen knew that Chen would not be hypnotized by Jinghua Shueyu, but it didn't matter. Now that the captains of each division have been hypnotized, Aizen's sense of security has greatly increased. Good job Aizen, I'm very optimistic about you. I hope you will continue to work hard and don't make me wait too long. Chen walked over and patted Aizen on the shoulder. Aizen forced a smile, and the depths of his eyes were full of fear. Vice Captain Aizen, your Zanpakuto Shikai is really unusual, said Uno Hanaritsu and Yaiki. Aizen raised her head sharply and looked at Uno Hanalai and Yaiki. They were completely unaffected, completely different from the others around them. This broken knife of yours can't hypnotize us at all. What a pity, Deputy Captain Aizen, Yi said mockingly. Lord Chen, I think it's better to kill this dangerous guy. Broken Bee looked at Aizen and said. Except for Chen and the others who were not hypnotized, all the captains of the other squads were hypnotized. What they saw and heard were all what Aizen wanted them to see and hear. The conversation between Chen and Aizen, and others the captain didn't seem to hear it. Chapter 695 Let's show off Kiba's blue dye. Superior. Lan Ran looked at Chen and Ujawali, Yei and the others who were not hypnotized. The expression on her face was extremely cold, and the hand holding Jinghua Shueyu tightened. Aizen, don't think about doing it. If you really do it, you will die in an instant. If you don't believe it, you can give it a try. Chen said lightly as if he could see through Aizen's mind. I want to know, what is the purpose of Captain Chen? Lan Ran looked at Chen and asked. Purpose? I'm afraid I can't tell you this, but you still have value now. I won't kill you, and I won't tell you what happened today, don't worry. After listening to Chen's words, Lan Ran felt even more worried. He didn't know Chen's purpose, so how could he be at ease? Let's go. Chen took the lead and walked out with Chong in his arms, while Mao Jihuali and Yi didn't even look at Aizen. Humph. I'll let you go this time, and I'll kill you next time. Broken Bee threatened in a cold voice. Don't talk too much, Brogue, you are not his opponent. Chen's voice came. How is it possible, Mr. Chen, you underestimate me, I will use Bankai to kill him now. Broken Bee said angrily, she wanted to prove her strength to Chen. Okay, I'm serious, you're really not his opponent, so save yourselves. Chen walked over and took the Broken Bees to leave together. Lan Ran looked at Chen's back, her face was extremely cold, she glanced at other people in the office, and also left directly. The captains of the divisions who fell into hypnosis did not know that everyone had left. This is also the power of Jinghua Shueyu. Just relying on Jinghua Shueyu can play everyone in the palm of your hand. In the original book, Aizen completely got rid of it by herself. Aizen's Kyoka Shueyu is really scary. If it wasn't for Chen, we might have been hypnotized. Ujawali said. Chen used the transcribe seal on her, Gao Tianyuan, making them immune to any attack, including hypnosis. It is precisely because of this that they were not hypnotized by the blue-dyed mirror. His Jinghua Shueyu has no effect on us. It's not easy to solve him. Lord Chen still doesn't believe that I can solve him. Broken Bee said resentfully. I really don't believe it. Blue Ran's strengths are not limited to Jinghua Shueyu. His slashing fists are very powerful, and it is not impossible to kill you in one move. Chen said while looking at Broken Bee. Although the current Broken Bee is stronger than the Broken Bee after the plot started in the original book, if it is really compared with Aizen, the Broken Bee is really not enough to watch. Chen, what do you want from Aizen? Ujawali asked curiously. Bangyu, what Aizen researched. Aizen developed a collapsed jade, and Urahara Kazuki also developed a collapsed jade. The fusion of two collapsed jade is a complete collapsed jade. Bangyu researched by Urahara Kazuki. What is the function of Bangyu? Yi asked curiously. You can break boundaries and evolve infinitely. Chen said with a smile. Just like him, after swallowing Bangyu, his strength is continuously improving, and there is no bottleneck at all. Such a powerful collapsing jade, I don't know how many exchange points it will take to sell it to the system. It sounds like it's very powerful. Yi nodded, but in fact Yi didn't understand anything. It is estimated that Aizen will also start his calculations. We can just wait and watch the show, but I don't know if he still dares to calculate me now. Although Aizen was warned, Aizen may not dare to count against him. At least the current Aizen didn't have the slightest fear of him at all, and Chen even caught the fighting spirit in his eyes. It seems that Aizen is treating him as an opponent. Chen and the others returned to the 4th division, and did not pay attention to the disappearance of the soul of Liuhun Street, but Chen also knew that Aizen had to move. Liu Quanxi took his deputy Chong Nanbai to Liuhun Street to investigate. Captain. After Liu Quanxi heard the sound, he turned his head to look. Yes, why are you here? Liu Quanxi looked at Dongxian and asked. Dongxian Yao is also a member of their 9th division, and is the editor-in-chief of Jinglingting. I'm here to help the captain. It's just the captain and the vice-captain. I'm a little worried, Dongxian said lightly. Really? Then you can follow. Liu Quanxi nodded and brought Dongxian to the suburbs of Liuhun Street. Liu Quanxi and Zhu Nanbai didn't have much vigilance. This was the Soul Realm, and Liu Quanxi didn't think there would be any danger. If Dongxian is blind, he can't see at all, but his perception is very powerful. Put your hand on Zanpakuto and gently pull it out. Liu Quanxi also heard the sound of Dongxian wanting to draw his sword and said with a smile, Don't be nervous, there shouldn't be any enemies. Shoot him, sharpshooter. As soon as Liu Quanxi finished speaking, Zhu Nanbai next to him was attacked and fell to the ground instantly. Zhu Nanbai, are you alright? Liu Quan looked at Zhu Nanbai in the west. Captain of the 9th division, I think it's better for you to worry about yourself. Ichimaru Silver stepped out of the corner and stared at Liu Kenshi like a poisonous snake. Damn, you are Ichimaru Silver. Liu Kensai looked at Ichimaru Silver, very angry. Just when Liu Kensai was about to attack, a knife from his back pierced him, and at this time, Ichimaru Silver used his sharp spear again, and the poor Liu Kensai stabbed him again. Dongxian wants it, so are you. Liu Chequan knelt on the ground in the west, and now he lost most of his combat effectiveness, and Zhu Nanbai, who was the first to be attacked, lost his combat effectiveness. Liu Quanxi knew that he might not be the opponent of the two people who had prepared in advance, so he secretly sent a message for help. Although he thinks what he is doing is very covert, the fact that he sent a message of help has been discovered. However, Ichimaru Silver ignored it, and originally asked him to send the request for help. Yes, you two are doing very well. Aizen stepped out. At this time Aizen had taken off her glasses, and her face was cold. Vice Captain Aizen, is this what you ordered? Liu Quanxi asked angrily. You'd better sleep in peace for a while. Aizen pulled out the knife and slashed it down with one slash. Liu Quanxi was cut off, and fell into a coma because of the heavy damage. Then we have to wait for other people to take the bait. I don't know how many people will take the bait. I hope my captain can come too. Aizen said lightly. Captain Hirako is resolved, and Aizen-sama can become the captain of the 5th division, right? Ichimaru Silver said with a smile. Silver, I don't care about being a captain at all, power is never as important as strength. Aizen said after looking at Ichimaru Silver. Only knowledge and power are the most important. With knowledge and power, power is just a cloud, and it is easy to get it. Could it be that Aizen-sama wants to gain great power and take revenge on the captain of the 4th division? Ichimaru Silver asked. Aizen gave Ichimaru Silver a deep look, but didn't say anything, but his eyes were dangerous. Chapter 696 Let's show off Kiba's blue dye. Down. Damn, what will happen in the soul world? Why let us come to support and waste my time? Hirako Mako said unhappily. Shut up, Bald, hurry up to support. I hope they can be safe and sound. Tsuruuki Hiyori said. Soon Hirako Mako, Tsuruuki Hiyori, Aikawa Luowu, Fengchao Lujiro, Yatomaru Lisa, and Yuzhao Oshinbagan came to Liuhun Street. They are the people who are called to come to support. Lu Che Quanchi and Ju Nanbai, let's go and have a look. Aikawa Luowu said. Don't act rashly, this may be a trap, the other party is waiting for us to take the bait. We must be careful, Hirako Mako said vigilantly. Although he was thought to be brainless by Tsuruuki Hiyori, Hirako Mako was not really brainless. They still have the breath of life and are not dead. Yu Jiaoshin Boxwan said. I didn't expect to come to support, it's you guys. Aizen brought Ichimaru Silver and Toxian out, and looked at Hirako Mako and the others lightly. Vice Captain Aizen, what's going on? Fengchao Lujiro looked at Aizen, his brows furrowed tightly. Isn't it clear now? These things are probably all done by this guy. Hirako Mako's eyes turned cold after seeing Aizen. Captain Hirako, you've always been on guard against me, I want to know why. Aizen looked at Mako Hirako curiously. Aizen didn't think there was anything wrong with him, why was Hirako Mako so wary of him? After he entered the 5th division, when Hirako Mako was still the 3rd seat, he was wary of him. My intuition tells me that you are not a good person. Hirako Mako had a weird smile on his face. Although he was smiling, he was very angry in his heart. Everyone in the 13th team of Gote has been deceived by you. Deputy Captain Aizen, you are really amazing. Aikawa Luowu looked at Aizen coldly. Aizen's image is really good. Basically, most people think that Aizen is a good person, but the truth is the exact opposite. It's not that I deceived you, it's that you never recognized me. Aizen said lightly. At this time, Aizen looked at the eyes of these people, as if Hyuga-chen was looking at him, full of indifference and contempt. Damn bastards, how dare you underestimate us? Aizen's disdainful look made Tsuruuki Hiyori instantly angry. You're really irritable, the vice captain of the 12th division, but you're too weak, Silver, solve her. Aizen said lightly. I understand, Captain Aizen, shoot him, sharpshooter. The magic spear in the sealed state is similar to the wakizashi. The so-called wakizashi is a short blade, which belongs to the backup weapon of the samurai. For a moment in the world, the original short blade stretched out like a piece of training, and stabbed towards the vital part of Hiyori Surakikaki at an extremely fast speed. What? Tsuruuki Hiyori's body was pierced, blood splattered out, the spear was quickly retracted, and Tsuruuki Hiyori's body fell in midair. Damn it, why did Ichimaru Silver join Aizen too? You obviously have a better future, so why did you sacrifice yourself? Hirako Mako asked angrily. Ichimaru Silver narrowed his eyes and said with a smile, it's a pity, let her avoid the key point, otherwise she would be dead now. Hearing that Ichimaru Silver said that Hiyori Surakiki was not dead, Hirako Mako and the others were relieved. Aizen, you are exposed now, aren't you afraid of being surrounded and suppressed? Hirako Mako looked at Aizen. He knew Aizen's intelligence, and now he took the initiative to expose it, which made him very vigilant. Ha, you still worry about yourselves. You bastard, you're just a vice captain, you actually think we're all set. Aikawa Luowu said angrily. Your understanding seems to be a bit wrong. Do you really think that the vice captain will definitely be weaker than the captain? Hyuga-chen is the captain, so he can still defeat the Captain Yamamoto. Be careful, Aizen's strength is definitely not simple. Hirako Mako said. It's still Captain, you know me, but it's too late, let me deal with you now. so that you won't have too many dreams for a while. Aizen didn't want to talk nonsense with them. If it dragged on for too long, other captains would find out that he would not be better off. Aizen had already seen old Yamamoto's Bankai, and the terrifying temperature Aizen probably didn't dare to approach, but Aizen didn't want to face old Yamamoto now. And Hyuga-chen, he had never been able to figure out what Hyuga-chen was thinking, but it was better to act cautiously. The moment Aizen drew the knife, the figure disappeared instantly. My Captain Hirako, your reaction is really too slow. Aizen retracted the knife from its sheath, and by this time Hirako Mako had fallen. What? Aikawa Luowu, Fengchao Lujiro and the others finally couldn't keep their calm, but Hirako Mako was actually killed in seconds. Are you surprised? To me, you are no different from dust. Aizen looked at them lightly, feeling a little happy in her heart. Sure enough, it has been suppressed for too long. The last time I was almost beaten by Chen to shut myself down. The grievances in my heart have been held back for decades, and now I can finally vent. Ichimaru Silver frowned slightly. This guy Aizen is really strong. But the last time Aizen was beaten by Hyuga-chen, was it the reason why Aizen didn't fight back, or was Hyuga-chen too strong? This is also a question buried in Ichimaru Silver's heart. Silver, what are you still doing? Dong Xian turned his head to look at Silver. Although he was blind, he could clearly perceive Silver. I understand, these little characters don't bother Captain Aizen to take action. Ichimaru Silver walked over step by step. No, it's better to solve them quickly. Aizen reached out to stop Ichimaru Silver, and then pulled out Zanpakuto from his waist again. The body disappeared in an instant, and Shunpo had reached the pinnacle. Even Yaiki, who was good at Shunpo, might not be able to beat Aizen. From this point of view, Aizen is indeed a genius, and Yu Yi has the guidance of the Sifeng family and the guidance of Chen. And Aizen is all on her own. I can't see him at all. It's time to deal with you all. The light of the sword flickered, the airflow flew, and Aikawa Luowu, Fengchao Jiro, Yatomaru Lisa, and Akita Hagen all fell to the ground. Until they lost their combat effectiveness, they didn't use a single move. It was really tragic. The main reason is that they couldn't see Aizen's figure at all. The difference in strength was too great, and they couldn't handle it at all, so they were killed in seconds. Captain Aizen is really amazing. He killed 2 captains in one move. I thought that the deputy captain and a deputy ghost priest. If the person who came was Hyuga-chen, he would probably be killed in one move. Ichimaru Silver said with a smile. Silver, don't test me. I admit that I'm not Hyuga-chen's opponent now, but I won't be sure in the future. Aizen took out the Benyu. It's time to test the effect of collapsing jade. You are honored to be able to experience it. Aizen looked at the group of people who fell to the ground indifferently. They had become Aizen's guinea pigs. Chapter 697 The Phantom Captains. Captain, is it really okay for you to be so leisurely every day? You must know that I am very tired. Matsumoto Ranju complained to Chen. Although Chen is now the teacher of the True Central Spiritual Art Institute in name, but Chen can really be lazy and directly pull Matsumoto Ranju, who joined the 4th Division. The reason was that he wasted his talent by staying in the 4th Division, and he was brought to the True Spiritual Art Institute to help him teach students. So since Matsumoto Ranju, Chen K rarely appears in the classroom and training ground. Ranju, although I know it's not easy for you, but you have to understand that this is the captain I value for you and my cultivation of you. Don't let me down. Chen patted the shoulder of Luanju. Luanju looked at Chen speechlessly, and actually told her this again. When Chen said this to Luanju for the first time, Luanju was very excited, happy for a long time, thinking that Chen was all for her own good. However, now Luanju has thoroughly seen Chen, and he clearly wants to be lazy. Lanju, don't look at me sitting in the office as if I'm very leisurely, but it's not easy for me, you have to be considerate of me. Chen said helplessly when he saw the contemptuous eyes of Luanju. Really, I didn't see anything difficult for you, Captain. You tease girls every day. I can do this too, or we can change it. Luanju said dissatisfied. Hey, do you know why your strength is still so weak? It's because your awareness is not enough. You only see me drinking tea leisurely every day, but you can't see the hard work I've put in. Matsumoto Ranju pouted and said, I feel that my strength is strong enough. With Tatsu's teaching, as well as Uno's Hanalai's guidance, plus the actual combat training with Shibi, Yaiki, and Halibal, Matsumoto's strength is indeed not weak. She is stronger than the other captains of Gotei 13, but unfortunately she is now in the 4th division. There are many people in the 4th division who are stronger than Matsumoto Ranju, and I will not say about Chen and Ujiwali. Nailu and Halibal are Chen's subordinates, and they can also be counted as members of the 4th division. Of course, the two of them are stronger than Luanju. Kasuga Yezong is also a member of the 4th division. Without Bankai, his strength is not worse than Uno Hanalai, and after Bankai, no one can match. There is also Hikari Kiryu, the captain of the original 12th division. Although Hikun Kiryu is not good at fighting, he can be invited by the 0 division. Even if he is not good at fighting, his strength should not be underestimated. It is certain that he is stronger than Ranju. Even Kusaka Yakiryu, who likes to play, is stronger than Matsumoto Ranju. Therefore, in the 4th team, Matsumoto's strength is really not ranked. Ranju, your strength is not enough, you still need to hone, this is the hone I gave you, do it well. Chen patted the shoulder of Ranju. Boom. The huge Reiatsu shocked the entire Seraiti. Captain, is this a virtual spiritual pressure? Luanju's face became solemn. Ranju, you don't need to be so nervous, please comfort the students in the school first. I'll go see the excitement. Chen left after saying that. What, people also want to go there and see? The left behind said in dissatisfaction. Oh, isn't this Captain Hirako, how did you do it like this? Chen looked at Hirako Mako, who had been blurred. In addition to Chen, there are Kazuki Urahara and Tetsusai, the two of them. Captain Hyuga, they've got a plan, and now they're turning into a phantom. I wonder if Captain Hyuga can save them. Urahara Kazuki asked. It's a good thing that they can become stronger in this way, they don't need help, but I advise you to run away. Otherwise, they may die miserably. Chen kindly reminded. Urahara Kazuki bit Kiba, and with his help, Hirako Mako and the others were temporarily suspended, but seeing them like this, Captain Yamamoto would definitely not let them go. It seems that it is too late, Chen said suddenly. As soon as Chen's voice fell, Yamamoto Yuanyugai Shigekuni rushed over with the captains of the various teams. Oops, cold sweat broke out on Huling Tejai's face. What's the matter with you guys? The spiritual pressure on the old man Yamamoto burst out, oppressing Hirako Mako and the others. To actually degenerate into a void, the old man Yamamoto is extremely angry. Captain Yamamoto, they suffered a calculation, and that's what made them virtual. It's not that they want to virtualize themselves. Urahara Kazuki said quickly. Captain Urahara, I don't know who calculated them. Aizen asked suddenly. Kazuki Urahara gave Aizen a cold look after hearing the words. Aizen stared at Urahara Kazuki intently. Aizen admired Urahara Kazuki's talent, but also dismissed him. Aizen admired his ingenuity, not his obedience to the Spirit King. However, Aizen must get the Benyu among Urahara Ki's assistants. Urahara Kazuki knew that Aizen was the mastermind, but he did not expose it, because Urahara Kazuki knew that even if it were exposed, no one would believe it. After all, Aizen Soyusuke performed too well, and everyone thought he was a gentle and good person. No matter how degenerate they are, the Soul Society will not allow them to exist. The old man Yamamoto opened his eyes with murderous intent. Old man Sean, they. Shut up, my decision, I don't need anyone else to interfere. Seeing the angry look of the old man Yamamoto, Jingle Chunchui could only shut his mouth angrily, showing sympathy to those people. Captain Yamamoto, they didn't do anything to endanger the Soul Society, why are they not allowed to exist? Isn't there a void in the Soul Society? Urahara Kazuki glanced at Chen. Urahara Kazuki, I don't want others to involve me in this matter. Chen said lightly. Nailu and Halibal can live unharmed in the soul realm because of my strength. As for them, Chen didn't continue to say anything. He had no friendship with these people, why should he help them? The old man Yamamoto's face was gloomy. Are Kazuki Urahara's words exposing his scars? Either get out of the way, or be regarded by the old man as these degenerate accomplices. The old man Yamamoto looked at Kazuki Urahara with cold eyes. With Urahara Kazuki's character, he will definitely not let go, alas. Yi sighed as he looked at them. Sure enough, Urahara Kazuki did not let go. He insisted on helping Hirako Mako and the others. It's all right to run away earlier, but now it's blocked. Chen looked at them and shook his head. In the original book, they ran away, but now that they are blocked, they really may not be able to escape. It seems that the only way is to fight, Hirako Mako said in a low voice with a mask on his face. Aizen looked at the current Hirako Mako and the others, and felt a little satisfied. Although it was a little different from what he expected, their strength has indeed increased a lot. After entering the virtual world, their spiritual pressure surged a lot, and even the vice-captains such as Junanbai and Tsuruaki Hiyori also had captain-level spiritual pressure. Chapter 698 Getaway. Do you still want to resist? The old man Yamamoto looked at the illusory captains. In fact, the old man Yamamoto is also very heartbroken. He lost so many captains and vice-captains at once, which can be called the biggest loss. But the old man Yamamoto never allowed them to exist, and he was very disgusted with the old man Shu Yamamoto. Nailu and Halibal can survive in this world because old man Yamamoto is not Tatsu's opponent, so they can't be helped. Captain Hirako, surrender. I don't want to confront you with swords and swords. I will plead with Mr. Genryusai for your mercy. Shuru Yukitaki said. Do you think that we have become like this? Can Seritsu really tolerate us? Surrender is the only way out. Aikawa Luowu said. Are we going to fight? It's a pity that the seeds are not ready. Chen found a place to sit and quietly watched them confront each other. I personally take care of you brats, old man. The old man Yamamoto pulled out Zanpakuto and said angrily. Feeling the incomparably heavy momentum, Hirako Mako and the others sank. To be honest, they were really unsure. The imposing Captain Yamamoto, the oldest god of death, and the deeply hidden poisonous snake Aizen, together with the unfathomable Hyuga Chen, almost sentenced them to death. Virtual Flash. The first to strike is the strongest, and Liuch Quanshi takes the lead in attacking. Since it has been decided to confront each other, it is natural to have the upper hand. HMPH. The little tricks of the eagle, but if you can use the virtual flash, then you can't leave you. The old man Yamamoto blocked the virtual flash and said. You little bastards are still 108,000 miles away from me. The old man Yamamoto used Shunpo to disappear and punched Liuch Quanshi. After one punch made it blurry, the 6 car punches, whose strength had increased a lot, fell to the ground. Monster-level combat power. Hirako Mako clenched her fists. You can't fight anymore, otherwise you will be completely eroded, and you will be completely alienated into nothingness, Urahara Kazuki said. We can't handle that much now, we don't want to sit still and wait for death. Hirako Mako galloped towards Aizen quickly, with monstrous hatred in his eyes. Aizen looked panicked and hurriedly avoided. Humph, I still want to hurt people in front of this old man. The old man Yamamoto held Hirako Mako's arm with one hand, and his cloudy eyes became extremely sharp. Thank you, Captain Yamamoto. Aizen said gratefully. You don't need to thank me, you should work hard to improve your strength. The old man Yamamoto said calmly. Urahara Kazuki took the help of Hirako Mako, who was sent flying, and held him down and said, Don't keep fighting, it won't do you any good, find a way to leave. I am sorry Urahara Kazuki, this time we're the ones who have troubled you, you and Gurutsusai run away. Idiot, don't you want revenge, do you want to watch your enemies do things? Hirako Mako fell silent, Of course he was not reconciled. The bastard Aizen must die. If it weren't for Aizen, how could things have gotten to this point? I want to expose his true face. Hirako Mako said angrily. It's useless, he is not afraid of these at all. No one will believe your words. You are now regarded as enemies, run away quickly. What are you still muttering about? The old man Yamamoto frowned. Old man Sean, I think you should take a rest. As the captain, how can you do such a trivial matter? Let's take care of them. Jingle Chunshui said. At the same time, Jingle Chunsui winked at Shuru Yukitaki. Chunshui is right, this kind of trivial matter doesn't bother teacher Yuan Luzai. That's right, if you encounter anything and ask you to take action, doesn't it seem like we have no one in Sarange? Zibo said with one heart. The old man Yamamoto nodded. Then it's up to you to deal with these fallen people. I hope you don't let me down. Jingle Chunsui pulled out Zanpakuto and rushed towards Fengchao Lujiro, and the Zanpakuto of the two collided. Look for an opportunity to escape quickly. For the sake of my colleagues, I will let you go. Don't miss the opportunity. It will be too late for old man Shan to take action. Jingle Chunshui said in a low voice, and then took Fengchao Lujiro fought back. Fengchao Lujiro glanced at Jingle Chunshui, then looked at the others. Although Jingle Chunshui and the others attacked very fiercely, their strength was restrained a lot, and they were just releasing water. Under the release of the water by Jingle Chunshui and others, plus Urahara Kazuki's various means, Hirako Mako and the others escaped. Aizen looked at them who were running away, but did not stop them. The living ones are far more meaningful than the dead. This is his guinea pig, even if they can't escape, Aizen will try to keep them alive. Run. Old man Yamamoto's face is really ugly now. Chen looked at old man Yamamoto. At this time, the old man Yamamoto's face was ashen, and his eyes full of anger stared at Jingle Chunshui. At the beginning, old man Yamamoto didn't see that they released water, and the water was released later. How could old man Yamamoto not see it? Sorry old man Shan, their strength has grown so much that they actually let them run away. Jingle Chunshui said apologetically. Very good, you are all very good. Such a big scandal happened in the soul world, you actually let the master run away. Mr. Yuan Luzai, don't lose your temper, you also understand their characters, they will definitely not take the initiative to degenerate into a falsehood. No matter what, they are all empty now. They are officially wanted, and there are two accomplices, Urahara Kazuki and Waray Tetsusai. The old man Yamamoto said with a deep breath. Captain Yamamoto, I think this matter needs to be investigated. Enough, I said, they are officially wanted, and they will be killed if they encounter them. Captain actually degenerates into nothingness, alas. I didn't expect this to happen. Aizen had a sad face. Deputy Captain Aizen, you should be happy. Hirako Mako is now defecting. You won't be the captain of the 5th Division in the future. I really want to congratulate you in advance. Chen walked over with a smile. Where, with my meager strength, I am qualified to be the captain, I am satisfied to be the vice captain. A group of captains and vice captains defected together, as well as the chief ghost chief and deputy ghost chief of the ghosts. This matter is not small, and I don't know how many places are vacated. After I go back, I will immediately hold a meeting to discuss their defection this time. Don't spread the matter out, try to cover it up as much as possible, said the old man Yamamoto. Of course, old man Yamamoto didn't want to spread the word about the defections of so many captains and vice captains, otherwise he would be the one who would lose face the most. If outsiders knew that they would defect, wouldn't it be attributed to his unfavorable management of Yamamoto Yuanluzai? The captains followed the old man Yamamoto to the first team building to discuss their defection this time. Chapter 699 New Captain. Old man Shan, I believe they definitely did not take the initiative in what happened this time. As you know their behavior, they will definitely not degenerate into nothingness. There must be a conspiracy after this. There is no need to defend them. It is an established fact that they have become virtual, and no one can justify it. The old man Yamamoto said lightly. It's not about talking about these things in the meeting now. After they defected, the vacancies left must be filled. Aizen Su Yusuke, you will be the captain of the 5th Division in the future. Captain Yamamoto, I'm afraid I'm not capable enough. This is the old man's order, do you want to disobey it? Aizen. Since it's the commander's order, Aizen will naturally accept it. In the future, please take care of the captains. Aizen said with a smile on her face. The captains of the other divisions, what do you recommend? The old man Yamamoto looked at the captains of the divisions. Captain Yamamoto, the old man is too old and doesn't want to continue to be the captain of the 6th Division. The captain of the 6th Division will be handed over to Byakuya. Kuchiki Silver Ling said. The old man Yamamoto thought for a while after hearing the words, and then nodded. Yes, I also understand Kuchiki Byakuya's strength, and he is qualified to be the captain. 06 I think Ichimaru Silver is very strong, so it's a bit too subservient to have him as the 3rd seat. Hiraku Chunshui said. Ichimaru Silver, let him be the captain of the 3rd Division for the time being. If not, then withdraw. Jingle Chunshui was a little surprised. He was really optimistic about Ichimaru Silver, but it would be good for Ichimaru Silver to be the deputy captain. Now he jumped directly to the captain. It seems that old man Shan also values Ichimaru Silver very much. The captain of the 7th Division, let Komamura Zojun take over. As for the captain of the 9th Division, it will be Tosen temporarily. The old man Yamamoto chose the new captain. Mr. Genryu Sai, where is the 12th Division? Shuru Yukitaki asked. It's up to Niyuri, the current deputy director of the Technology Development Bureau. As for the deputy captains of each division, you can make up your own. The old man Yamamoto thought for a while and said. Congratulations to Captain Aizen, you have really become the captain. Chen smiled and looked at Aizen. In the future, Captain Chen still needs a lot of care. Aizen also responded with a smile. It's enough for the two of you to be hypocritical. Yi couldn't help saying. If there is nothing else, we will leave first. Chen pulled Ujawali away. Wait, Captain Hyuga should know something about their degeneration, right? The old man Yamamoto asked suddenly. Why do you say that? Chen looked back at the old man Yamamoto and asked. Because you reminded them to be careful. The old man Yamamoto stared at Chen tightly. This is just a concern among colleagues. Old man Yamamoto, don't you suspect that I made them blurry? It's not impossible. The old man Yamamoto squinted at Chen with a dangerous light in his eyes. In fact, old man Yamamoto also knows that Hirako Mako and the others are likely to be in the calculation, but if they become false, old man Yamamoto will not let them go. But to be able to count the captains and vice-captains of Hirako Mako, and not be discovered by him, the only thing that old man Yamamoto can think of is Chen. If the old man finds out that this matter has something to do with you, don't blame me for being rude to you, said the old man Yamamoto. Although Hyuga Chen's strength makes old man Yamamoto feel troubled, he will not allow Hyuga Chen to act indiscriminately. If it is really necessary, just put down your face and ask the people from the Zero team to take action, and old man Yamamoto will also take him. I rarely do such sneaky things, so this time it wasn't me who did it, but I do know who it is. After Chen finished speaking, he took Ujawali and the others away. The old man Yamamoto frowned. He said this to confuse the public, or it really has nothing to do with him. Mr. Genryu Sai, although I don't know Captain Chen very well, this matter does seem to have nothing to do with Captain Chen. Yukitaki Shuru said. I'll think about it myself, let's call it quits. The old man Yamamoto waved his hand. What happened today should be done by that guy Aizen. To dare to do such a big thing, he is so courageous. Yi said. Maybe it's because I hypnotized all the captains, so I don't have any scruples. Uno Hanali shook his head and said. Why do you care so much? Go back. Chen, you have been suspected, but you are still so leisurely, really. Doubt it. At most, it's just suspicion. Old man Yamamoto dare not do anything to me, unless he doesn't care about the soul world. Chen said calmly. Ujawali and Broken Bee returned to the 4th Division, and Chen and Yei went to the True Central Spiritual Art Institute. Captain, what's the big deal? Tell me. Matsumoto Ranju leaned over and asked. It's nothing major, it's just a change of captains. What? How many captains changed? Isn't this a big deal? Matsumoto said in surprise. Why change the captain? Don't be so curious, let's go to work now. Chen knocked Matsumoto Ranju on the head, and Matsumoto Ranju left in pain. By the way, the students of the elite class will have their graduation assessment in a few days. Don't you want to go take a look? Matsumoto Ranju ran back again. Graduation assessment. Is it so fast? Yes. Don't you, an irresponsible teacher, know now? Wait until the day of the graduation assessment. Don't bother me now. Matsumoto Ranju looked at Chen lying on the table, and was speechless. He had never seen such a lazy person before. A few days passed quickly, and Chen came to the classroom today. I haven't seen Mr. Chen for a long time, and I feel like Mr. Chen has become more handsome. Hina Sendao whispered to Kuchiki Rukia next to her. Peach, you seem to admire Teacher Chen very much. Rukia said, looking at Hina Sendao. Handsome and powerful, they are basically advantages. Hinamori Dao's eyes shone brightly. Indeed, Mr. Chen is indeed very popular at the True Central Academy of Spiritual Arts, but even if it is a little irresponsible, we students have not seen him much in the past 6 years. That must be Mr. Chen busy. After all, Mr. Chen is still the captain of the 4th Division. You must learn to be considerate of the teacher. Hina Morita said to Rukia dissatisfied. No, according to the legend, Mr. Chen is very lazy. Rukia glanced at Chen on the podium, then whispered in the ear of Hinata. Student Onion, what are you talking about? Can you tell me, teacher? Rukia's body shuddered. She turned her head and looked at Chen in front of her and was startled. Wasn't she still on the podium before? Why did it suddenly appear in front of her? This speed is too fast. My name is Rukia, not Onion. Rukia whispered. I see, Onion. Chen patted Rukia on the head, then returned to the podium. Chapter 700 Toxian wants it. Blue-dyed invitation. Today is the day of your graduation assessment. I hope you all pass. I don't want to see any of you being repeated, otherwise it would be too embarrassing. Chen looked at the students below and said. Rukia still looks resentful. What onion head? Does my hairstyle look like an onion? Peach, look at my head. Does it really look like an onion? Rukia asked Hina Mori Dao. It's very similar. No, it should be said that it is. Hina Sendao nodded and said. Don't talk first, okay. Can you let me finish first? The two of you are talking below, I'm very embarrassed. Chen looked at Rukia and young Sendao and said. Sorry, teacher. Hina Sendao immediately did it obediently. There were originally 18 people in our class, but one of them has already graduated early. Now they are going to the world to hunt phantoms. Each person must hunt down a giant phantom to graduate. The person who graduated early was Hitsugaya Toshiro, who graduated after only 1 year of study, and is known as a genius. Teacher, is there any danger? Asanjing Renji asked. Of course it's dangerous. Do you think you're going to play? Let me tell you first, I won't care if I'm killed by a false one. Hearing that there is still a danger of being killed by false, everyone in the class began to talk about it. To be honest, they are not willing to go to such a dangerous thing. If you don't want to go, you can stay, but you won't be able to graduate in the future. Chen said lightly to them. If you want to graduate, just follow me. Chen opened a space portal and walked in. The people in the class looked at each other a few times, then walked in and came into the world. Is this the real world? It's no different from Seraiti. It's just that there are fewer Reiki and Seraiti. This is Chongling Dekongza town. Shu likes to hunt here very much. Now I'm placing the bait. You have to solve everything by yourself. I won't interfere. Chen said to them. What if we meet an invincible enemy? Asked Renji Asashi. Let's talk when you meet. To be honest, your strength is really bad enough. Chen glanced at them and complained. It's not because you haven't taught us, Mr. Chen. Rukia whispered. Onyantu, you seem to be very dissatisfied with me. Do you want me to take special care of you? Chen's eyes turned to Rukia. No, I don't have the slightest dissatisfaction, not at all. Rukia quickly denied it. Stop talking nonsense with you. Shu is coming, you can work hard. Chen sat down and quietly looked at a group of Shu running over. Basically, they are all ordinary voids, and there is only one big void, Kilian. A big virtual Kyrian, you should be able to solve it. If you can't solve it, then it's really a dish. Chen said to himself. Come here, that Shu is Kilian, be careful. A Sanjing Renji shouted loudly. Let's work together to get rid of Kilian first. Rukia pulled out Zanpakuto and slapped it, looking at Daxu Kilian who was approaching step by step. Broken Road 32, Yellow Fire Flash. Hina Morita gave up the chant and used the shock wave released by the Yellow Fire Flash to repel Daxu Kyrian. Kun Komer, the mask of flesh and blood, all phenomena, flying wings, and the thing in the name of human beings. Burning heat and strife, rolling south across the sea, and marching forward. Breaking Road 31 Red Cannons. Quote. A Sanjing Renji released the fireball condensed by Reiatsu, and smashed it towards Kyrian, who was repelled. Under their series of attacks, Daxu Jillian began to retreat steadily. After all, they were all students of the elite class, which meant that they were all elite death gods with very strong abilities. A dozen people went up together. Not. Although Kilian is strong, his IQ is flawed, so he is a relatively easy guy to deal with. Chen glanced at them, then the figure suddenly disappeared, and a hand was placed on Dong Xianyao's shoulder. Sneaky, did Aizen send you here? Chen asked indifferently towards Dongxian. Bankai Qingzong final Yan Mo cricket. Wanted to say nothing, and immediately Bankai Zanpakuto, the powerful Reiatsu formed a huge barrier and wrapped Chen in it. Except for those who touch the handle of the insect-clearing knife, the hearing, sight, smell, and Reiatsu sensations of other people in the enchantment will completely disappear. The Zanpakuto of Tosenyao is a Zanpakuto of the perceptual attack type, which can blind the perception of others. Go to hell, Captain of the 4th Division. Dong Xian wanted to stab Chen's vital part with a knife. You dare to fight with me, I think you are impatient. A sneer appeared at the corner of Chen's mouth, his figure disappeared instantly, and then he punched Dongxian in the abdomen. How is that possible? Feeling the pain that his body was about to be pierced, Dongxian couldn't believe it. Why could he know his position? Aizen's Kyoka Shuiyu doesn't work for me. Do you think your Zanpakuto is useful? Something beyond your own power. Dong Xianyao's body smashed out and hit the barrier formed by his Zanpakuto, and then the barrier shattered. The barrier formed by Tozenko's Zanpakuto is very fragile and can be easily broken. Dongxian wanted to get up, take a look at Chen here, and then retreat quickly. If you want to run away, I have to allow it. Bansho Tenon, Universal Pull. The strong gravitational force pulled Dongxian back. Chen grabbed his hair with one hand, then smashed it to the ground, and a deep human-shaped pit appeared. I want to know, did Aizen ask you to come here, or did you come here yourself? Chen asked lightly. Dong Xianyao did not speak, but remained silent. Pretend to be dead, right? If you want to pretend to be dead, then I'll let you really die. A huge Rasengan appeared in Chen's hand. Master Aizen asked me to come, and he asked me to give this to you. Dongxian wanted to come out of the pit, took out an invitation and handed it to Chen. Looking at the scarred Dong Xianyao, Chen took Rasengan back, and then took the invitation that Dong Xian wanted to hand over. This guy Aizen wants to invite me. It's really interesting. You go away first. Chen asked Dongxian to get this guy out of the way. If Dongxian did not speak, he silently turned and left. Chen opened the invitation, looked at the contents above, and then set fire to it. I really don't know what this guy is doing, but it's better to go and have a look. I really want to see what Aizen has done. After Chen returned, Daxu Jillian had already been solved by their concerted efforts. Yes, you guys are okay. It doesn't seem to be as wasteful as I thought. Very good. Chen looked at them and praised. So in your eyes, we are all waste. It's really unpleasant. Rukia puffed up in dissatisfaction. Then I don't know if Teacher Chen can teach me alone. I also want to become stronger. Xindao gathered up the courage and asked Chen. Looking at the adoring eyes of young Sendao, Chen was a little stunned. Isn't this girl looking forward to Aizen in the original book?